Howdy, partner. The name is Thornton, and I am an entrepreneur, as well as a up-and-coming farmer, you could say. This here is my property that I've recently purchased off local imperial authorities. Indeed, the grasslands are the perfect place to set up a nice area for farming for livestock or, you know, maybe even milking humans. Yep, we're really doing this. Why? I don't know, I kinda want to. Now, I spent most of my money buying this piece of property, but I still have about 1,500 silver left that I can use to help me set the place up or to give me some materials that I need. So, we are going to be headed to the nearest Outlander town, and we are going to be buying some stuff that I think we might need. I had hoped to find some non-lethal weapons that we could probably use to find our livestock, quote-unquote, but unfortunately, all the weapons, firearms, and everything that they had here were pretty damn lethal. On the contrary, though, they had a couple of psychic shock lances, which would probably do the trick. I only was able to get one of them, but with 2 users per lance, I think that'll be plenty. I would also buy a pump shotgun just in case there was a threat that did require the lethal approach. Oh, and I got myself a proper cowboy hat. You like it? I knew you would. Fancy new dud shotgun, and most importantly, the lance in tow. I think we're finally ready to begin. First things first, I'm gonna be chopping down plenty of trees. That way we can build ourselves a shelter for the evening and for the foreseeable future. Now, the grassland isn't exactly overabundant with trees, but there are a decent bit and probably enough to build our farm. With that being said, the next order of business was going to be chopping down as many as possible and attempting to collect as much wood as possible. I was thinking if we really need to, we could do research into tree sowing and create ourselves a great big orchard, or field, I guess, of trees. Whoa, Nelly, hold that thought. We might have a milk machine. We have Arvid? Arvid! Welcome, Arvid. Welcome. You are actually going to be one of our first, milkers. I don't know what to say. We're gonna hit you with a psychic lance. Good night, sweet moon. How long are you down for? You're gonna be in psychic shock. It doesn't say. I'm gonna put you out, though, because I don't want you to burn to death. That wouldn't be good at all. But you're going to be one of our first milkers. Now, let us ever so quickly, I think, yeah, we have some wood. I'll just throw together a very quick cell right here, just to keep her contained. Let's go ahead and do that. We need to do it before the psychic shock wears off. I forgot how long it takes. Although, that did leave you with a burn scar on your brain. I don't think that's going to matter. We're just going to be milking you. So, no big deal. No big deal. Oh my god, Thornton, no, come on, dude. I know you want to sleep, but let's start building. We desperately need this built before she wakes back up. That wouldn't be good. Wait, she? Arvid? Arvid's a male. I don't think it matters. I think we can still milk him, as strange as that may seem, given biology and anatomy, but that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Hurry, come on, Thornton. I need you to do this quickly, please. Come on. There we go. That's good enough for now. Perfect. All right, Arvid. Oh, shit, see? Arvid's getting away. No. See, I knew it. We should have waited. Arvid is very slow, though. I think we'll catch her, or him, before they get out of here. See, I know. We probably should have built that first, but that's all right. Arvid, hold still, darn you. Arvid, come on. I don't want to shoot you with a shotgun, because that would, you know, maybe kill you. I just want to use the lance. I want there to be no, you know, way of us accidentally murdering you. Hopefully. Come on. You know you want to get milk. Come on. Ah, darn it. Well, now we have to wait and find another milker, and we've also made enemies with this faction. Shit. I messed it up. We'll find somebody else to milk, I swear. This feels like a good time to mention that I'm actually using the milkable colonist and the human milk economy. Now, I had a little bit of trouble out of human milk economy, although they lactate. You'll see in the future, I guess. But if you are playing along, the mod list is in the video description. Perhaps you'll be able to get these mods to work a bit better together than I can. And of course, that also means that I am starting with human lactation as one of my starting researches, in case you were curious. Because I'm really just looking to get the milking started without any of the hassle of having to do the starting research like that. Besides, you think I'd come out to a place like this, buy this property, without knowing how to milk a fella or a lady? Yeah, I don't think so. Speaking of which, immediately we started using up a lot of the wood that we've been collecting this entire time to actually build the farming and ranching part of, well, well, the farm slash ranch where I hope to keep our livestock. Alright, so we're about midway through starting to build our fence and our little milking area here in the middle, or what I hope to be our milking area. We have a wild man who has wandered in. Focus? Okay, alright. Focus! You are going to be our little milkmaid, buddy boy. Let's go ahead and capture him. I think we're going to still have to tame him, of course, but I have a pretty good skill in animals here. I think it's a 13, is that right? Yes, I have a 13 in animals, so we should be able to tame him pretty easily, I'd say. I could try to do that right now. Yeah, do we have any food? We don't have enough food. Let me try to tame him, and if that doesn't work, oh, I could just use that, couldn't I? Okay, let's try to tame him here. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna hit him with the lance, and we're gonna put him in our prison, and then we'll try to tame him from there. We could probably try to do that anyway, but, let's see. Come on, little buddy, don't you want to get milked? I know you do. Oh, wait, yeah, look at that. All right, new recruit, so he has joined us. Great. So we can milk him. I want to try to maybe put people in prisons and do it. I'm also cool with just having them join us as long as they can. Oh, looks like we're going to be able to, okay. We don't have any names yet. If you guys have any names for this place, as well as our faction, be sure to let me know. We're going to be calling them both placeholder for the time being, of course. But I'm cool with having people who actually join us like this who also can just be milked. Colonist is fine, slave is fine. It doesn't really matter as long as they're getting milked. You know what I mean? That's the most important part to me. So, I guess we could build another wooden canopy. I don't think we have the stuff for it though at the moment. Let's go ahead and just put down a sleeping spot in the milking area. He can stay in there for now. He was a wild man. I expect he won't mind sleeping out in the grass all that much. We do need to also build a small place where we can start growing our own food because hunting and getting berries is only going to take us so far. And at the moment, we're doing fine for food, but that might not always be the case. We also need to get some drugs that we can actually use to induce lactation in Focus. Ooh, let's change his name, because I have some wonderful names that I'll be using instead. I've got the random names from our patrons here. Let's see what we come up with. And we've got... Okay. Sorry, that audio is so, yeah, a little bit louder than I intended. We have the E-Man, chosen at random, one of our patrons from the Rat Specialist tier, as well as the Support Rat tier. If you guys want to become a patron in either of those tiers and have your name added to the list to potentially get milked by the Rat Daddy, strange sentence to say, but you can do that if you want. The E-Man has joined us, though, and we need to try to start working on some drugs for human lactation, like the lactation inducer, which is exactly what we need, and it's also going to give us human milk. That's part of why we want to finish this up, though, the milking area, because we have a milking table that we can put in here. I think we also need to make a drug lab to go about actually making the drug to milk the E-Man. So we're going to be working on that. We'll try to build a little farm where we can grow the stuff to make the drug, I believe, as well as food. Well, I started working on the milking area again, but it looks like we have a raid, our very first raid, as it were, and we have a singular waster pirate with a club, who I am going to immediately hit with our psychic lance, and we are going to take her prisoner, and we're going to milk her ass too. We're going to milk all these people. We're going to milk them all. Hello, how are you? I don't want to hit you with that. I want to hit you with this. Good night, sweet moon. Perfect. Our first use of it maybe didn't work, but the second most definitely did, and now we are going to be capturing you and taking you with us. You're not unwaveringly loyal, so I guess we'll recruit you and milk you. Hello, Allumus4. Nice to meet you. We're gonna recruit you, and I'm gonna give you a much better name as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. Well, I guess after you get recruited. I could do it right now with character editor, but we'll wait. So we have our second milk bag of the farm, and we are currently working on this milking area. I have to collect more supplies, though, as mentioned, like components, because we need that for the milking table and drug lab, as well as plenty of steel, but we'll get those pretty quickly. Now, the E-Man here has a pretty decent mining and plant skills, so as he is out collecting all the components from the compacted machinery, as well as the steel, I would be putting the finishing touches up on the first piece of our farm, our little milking area, which is also going to double as a storage facility, drug lab, so on and so on. Perhaps one of the most crucial parts, though, that the E-Man was also working on beyond collecting steel and components was working on our little farm here. We are going to be growing several different types of crops, of course some food to keep us alive, but most importantly, ingredients for the lactation inducer. I had expected I might need some synthread, so that's why I'm growing some cloth, but the heal root and chem root is going to be most important for chem fuel and herbal meds, which we'll be using for the lactation inducers. While we await the inevitable growth of all of our crops, we're also going to be working on generating some electricity. The grasslands are the perfect place for windmills, so that is what we're going to be going with. Maybe not your traditional giant metal windmill from typical RimWorld, but a nice, beautiful wooden one that you might find on a cozy little farm. Now it's time for us to start working on the milking area. First and foremost, we're putting the E-Man a nice little bed in. We're going to be building a drug lab and of course putting in many crates for our storage, at least for the time being, until we have a dedicated area for them. We're also going to be adding in a milking table. More on that in a moment. Now that we finally have some electricity, we can go about making an electric stove and cooking ourselves some darn good meals. I think later on this is going to be quite important because we'll have a lot of fine meals to feed to our prisoners and slaves who we're going to be milking, thus keeping them from having mental breaks and revolting. That's the idea, at least. Next up on the agenda, we're going to be working on some light dirt pathing all around the farm. Now, this isn't something I want to focus on too much, but it's actually a lot more crucial than you might think, as the grasslands are very much prone to wildfires, and having a nice little border as our pathing to separate from all the burnable stuff is going to be quite useful. Specifically, our highly flammable and explosive chem root. By this point, we've finally recruited Alispor, who is now going to be known as Alexander Nobbs, yet another of my wonderful patrons chosen at random. Welcome aboard. All these new milk machines need a proper place to live their lives though here on the farm, don't you think? And because of that, I'm going to be building up some little connected cabins here that are going to have some, okay, wooden flooring, but some comfy beds and a few different things like end tables and dressers and blah blah blah. Only the best for my little milk bags. Finally though, we had a great big harvest of crops. Most importantly, that herbal medicine and chem fuel that I was telling you about, which are the two ingredients for the lactation inducers. I already said that, I know. I was just trying to find a decent segue into telling you that we immediately started manufacturing and or synthesizing a few of these pills ourselves. I'm going to try to keep about 40 or so on deck at all times, but if we end up wanting to sell them to make a little bit of money as well, which is something I'm already considering, we might start doing them all the time. That being said, who's gonna be first to start lactating, huh? Don't be shy. They both would end up taking their lactation pills, and voila, they were both lactating. Now, this is where I had an issue with the human milk economy mod. I don't know why, but they would lactate, but I couldn't milk them for some reason, so I swapped out the effect on the medicine using character editor, giving them the standard milk fullness, and as you can see now, all we have to do is wait until it is time to milk. While we're waiting on this, I also thought that research into batteries would be a good thing for us to start on, seeing how we're generating plenty of electricity, and yet we have nowhere to store our excess. As we're working on that, speaking of, I also started building plenty more windmills. Perhaps one of the best things about these little more quaint windmills is the fact that they don't actually require components, only wood and steel. Is that important? Maybe not, but I think with all the saved components we're not using on wind turbines, we could use those for some milking machines in the future. I also want to make the quality of life for myself and my milk machines as best as I could, so I built us a nice little kitchen with a dining room as well as a nice place to store all of our food. Now all I gotta do is build a cooler, that way we can ensure that whatever we keep in here is nice and frozen and will last forever. One teeny little issue though, the cooler requires a construction skill of 5 and I'm currently sitting at a 4, so I need to start smoothing some stone to try to get my construction skill a tiny bit higher. We have Alexander Nobbs who is at 99% milk fullness, and it looks like, yes, indeed, I don't even think, okay wait, are you going to the milking table? Where are you going? I thought that Alexander was milking themselves. Alright, 100% milk fullness. Let's see, okay, we're just hauling rice. Can we go to the table? No, that's odd. How do we milk them? Okay, the E-Man just milked Alexander. Okay. Quite the sentence. Whoa! Whoa, E-Man. Hold it right there, partner. I don't want you using our milk. Let me make sure we're not using any milk. At least not... Okay, well, that's just normal milk. Okay, cool. So that just gives us normal milk. That's pretty cool. We could eat it technically, but I don't want to, right? I don't want to eat all our milk because I want to be able to use our milk. We should be getting our freezer, or the cooler built shortly for the freezer, and we'll actually be keeping it frozen. We'll keep it fresh. Maybe we sell it. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. Maybe use it for a cake, but it looks like we don't actually need the milking table down here, which is good. Eventually, I think I'm still going to set some stuff up. I want to have our people, like, designated kind of to this area at all times, or at least some dedicated people who were going to be milking in this area, because obviously we didn't just build it for shits and giggles, right? But that's pretty cool. So Alexander is the first to give us some milk. We have 12 buckets of milk, and it looks like the E-Man is at 75% milk fullness, so he will be next soon enough. Thornton has also finally increased his skill, and he is building the cooler, which is great. There we go, and we'll go ahead and set that down pretty low to keep it frozen. Hopefully we can try to get that battery research done. We're just over halfway there, so we'll be able to do that, and we'll throw together a little battery room somewhere, and we'll start storing up electricity. The farm, the human farm, is coming along nicely. Our first harvest of milk, a cooler, some bedrooms. Oh, wow. Indeed, things are going absolutely splendid, minus a few wildfires. But I suppose that's why we built those natural paths, eh? Shortly thereafter, we ended up finishing the research into batteries. Even more splendid, we ended up building a couple to store up all that excess energy we're generating, ensuring our lights stay on regardless of how hard the wind is blowing. We also ended up having yet another wild woman wander in, who we quickly tamed with a little bit of rice. Yet another milker among our growing list of milkers. She can't fight, but she's pretty damn good at medical and has a burning passion in that and construction. So, in the meantime, in between her milking sessions, she'll be able to contribute quite a bit. Alright then, let's get them teats ready, huh? Hopkins, who needs a better name, would immediately join us on her lactating journey. Now, as everyone's prepping their teats for a good milking, we're also going to be working on some defenses, with that being wooden embrasures and wooden spike traps. A lot of people want to rob us and attack us and stuff like that, or even some might think that our farming methods are unethical, and so we have to defend ourselves from those people. Especially as we continue building up our colony, increasing how nice it is here, and thus our wealth, meaning that attacks are going to get a little bit worse as we continue drawing the ire of undesirable folks. We also began sewing together plenty of clothing for everybody. As easy as it was milking them while they were completely buck naked, I decided that they might like a little bit better if they had some pants and shirts, so that's what we gave them. Just a feller and his well-dressed livestock milk bag, mother. Whoa, hold that thought, partner. The E-Man is ready for a milking sesh. That's 6 more buckets onto the few buckets we already have. Now, with this little bit of milk as we're getting from all of our folks that we are indeed milking with their lactating teats. Sorry, I know that's gross, but anyways, we're not getting all that much is my main point, so we are going to have to continue expanding and expanding and expanding this here farm to exponential points. That way, we have enough of our people that we can milk that we're just getting a shit ton of milk all at once whenever we do milk them. Does that make sense? I hope so. Right now, we're just throwing in a couple more connected cabins for our folks to live in, but I would say the more important or more interesting part of the farm now is going to be a recreation area for all of our livestock to enjoy themselves at. Right now, we've got some pretty basic recreation areas like a dartboard, punching bag, faro table, as well as a chess table, but as we continue expanding our knowledge and our farm, we'll get some cooler stuff, maybe a flat screen TV, who knows? But our expanding came to a screeching halt when we had a strange visitor approaching. So we have our drifter here going by the name of Mason. They have not a very good skill set. Body mastery doesn't have basic needs like eating, sleeping, or comfort. What? Holy shit, okay. So just mood, huh? That's really cool. What the hell is that from? I don't know. Cool. I accept, Mason. You can join us. You're probably gonna have like decaying organs or something at some point, but that's fine. We're gonna milk you. We couldn't care less. If you die, you die. Pure White, using local folk knowledge, he has mastered his okay, yeah, alright, well, you can join us. I don't know if I've ever had somebody anybody like that with body mastery ever join us before, but okay, Mason, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We need you to immediately take some lactation inducers. Oh, what the hell? Unsuitable food? I didn't think about that. You can't eat. Damn it. Damn it. You can't eat. That sucks. I'm stupid. Well, you can help us out, though, hauling stuff and stuff. I mean, you're basically just like a machine who needs recreation. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah. We'll have you work. You do need a proper name. We also need to give a proper name to Hopkins, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll do Mason first. So, Mason's name is going to be... Isabella Athena. So, we have Mason, who is going to be Isabella Athena, or is that Athene? I apologize. I can't pronounce names, but another of our lovely patrons. And next up is going to be Hopkins, who is going to be Mikino-chan. Mikino-chan is Hopkins, or Hopkins is Mikino-chan. Oh, why won't it let me... Oh, hold on. I think it's because there's the underscore in it. There we go, Mikino-chan. Welcome aboard, you two. Well, Isabella, you shall not be milked, unlike Mikino, who is going to be milked along with Alexander Nobbs and the E-Man constantly. And we are... I don't know. Let me know what you guys think we should do with all our milk. We have 60. We could sell it for profit. How much is milk worth? $1.90. We could make stuff out of it, though, or we could sell it. Whatever you guys want, just be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and I would be more than tickled to go about doing that. Really the name of the game here. The main thing we want to do is milk people. Just for shits and giggles and for the hell of it, but there could be a bit of a purpose. Maybe we could use it as ingredients for, I don't know, great big cakes or something, or we could just sell it, or whatever, you know? You guys let me know what you'd like to see, and I will be happy to oblige. Moving right along, though, we're going to begin our next research project into microelectronics. Not really too much of interest here, except, of course, for the comms console, which is going to allow us to do a bit of trading with orbital traders who might be looking to buy our milk, but we also might be looking to buy a few things off them. In particular, I'm thinking they might have a few things to sell to us that we could utilize to go about expanding our farm, or even the amount of people that we have here at the farm to go about milking. Now, is milking human beings a bit unethical? Sure, yeah, probably. However, I would counter with the fact that we're taking damn good care of them. Look at these wonderful accommodations. The perfect, cozy little abodes to settle down in for the evening after a hard day of having their nipples tugged on like silly putty for a few ounces of nectar. Also, I've kind of made a decision that I think I would like to sell some of these lactation drugs to orbital traders, since we're not really going to be making that much on milk. They're only worth about 25 buckaroos a pop, but when you take into account just how fast we can make them and how many we can make, we'll end up making a decent penny, I'm sure. Before we're able to sell them, though, we need to finish up that microelectronics research, because right now we can't even accept any offers from the orbital traders hub, nor can we even communicate with the ships in orbit without the comms console. I'd be more than happy to take a caravan out, but as you probably remember, we already really pissed off the Outlanders. Since this research is taking a little while, I've got my milk bags along with myself building us a nice little research area, its own dedicated room essentially, where we can add in as many research benches as we'd like. This isn't really sticking with our wooden theme, mostly because I ran out of wood, so it's built out of granite. Although it serves its purpose just fine regardless. And it wouldn't be long at all before we finished that research into microelectronics. Hell yes! And the very next thing we did, obviously, was build a comms console. Though we did start having a little bit of power issues with all these new electronics. We generate enough electricity, but the wind can be a tricky bitch, and because of that, we're going to be building more wind turbines. That way, even if we're not getting a full charge from one of them, we'll be getting enough to charge the batteries. I'm not good at math. You know what I'm talking about though, right? Now with the comms console in place, we just needed enough money to pay the Orbital Traders Hub to immediately request a trade ship. Luckily, we had a little bit of silver ore we could mine out, as well as some in storage. With that, now we can contact the Orbital Traders Hub and immediately go about requesting a combat supplier. Surprised? Don't be. Allow me to explain. I touched on this very, very briefly earlier on in the video, but I would like to get my hands on some non-lethal weapons. The reason I want non-lethal weapons, as you might have guessed, they won't actually go about killing people, or it takes a lot of them to accidentally kill someone. And if we're not killing people, that means we can take them prisoner and start milking them. You see what I'm getting at? Hold that thought, cowboy. Looks like we're under attack. Oh, the Outlanders have finally come to take their vengeance. It's about damn time, I suppose. The biggest issue is there's 4 of them, and they all have a rifle, pistols, and a shotgun, and I really don't have any defenses for my people except my own shotgun. I think I have a bow that some tribes people gifted to us. I'm gonna pause. Yeah, we have the reinforced juggernaut. So this is a great bow with reinforced bow limbs. It's basically one of the custom weapons. What does this do? I'm not sure what reinforced bow limbs does, but let's see. Which one of our milking machines here has a good shooting skill? I think it's Alexander. The thing is, the E-Man is the only other person that can really fight, as Isabella has a 0 in shooting, and Mikino-chan actually doesn't have any shooting skill, is incapable of violence, so that's not great. Let's try to throw together a quick bow, though, for the E-Man if we can. We do have a knife that the E-Man could use, so that's something. I guess I'll let Isabella go ahead and start working on a short bow for the E-Man, and we should have a knife, too. Here it is, a steel knife. I guess I'll take that, just simply because I might need it, I guess. We could also try to make a few knives, but it'll take a little while to do so. So Alexander Nobbs has a great bow, I have my shotgun, and soon the E-Man will also have a short bow. Hopefully we can get that finished well before they attack us. I am going to go ahead and set area 1 to this area, and I'm going to put everybody on it. That way we can ensure that nobody accidentally wanders too far and gets attacked, hopefully. I'm also hoping that maybe our traps and stuff will help us out a little bit here. I think we could try to move. Let's go ahead while we're waiting, actually. I'm gonna move some of these traps up that way. I know that's outside the range, so I'm gonna let me, myself, and I do it. That way I can also keep an eye out and make sure that if we're about to get shot at, we could try to avoid that happening, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Oh, we got the short bow done. Cool. E-Man, please come down here. Isabella, you can drop that. E-Man, I would appreciate if you equip the short bow, and we'll be golden. I'm gonna go ahead and work on some knives anyways. Worst case scenario, we just don't get them done by now. We can still use them later on. We could probably, we'd have to make like a machining table and stuff, but we could make some Molotovs. That would be awful here in the grassland, though, wouldn't it? That would burn everything down. We're pretty well protected from the natural paths, though, being around our buildings. It should keep fire from spreading, even if it's really, really close. I'd rather not take the chance, though. And plus, we would end up creating a massive forest fire that could cause other issues. So I think they're probably going to take cover in these areas, so I think having our traps up here is going to help out quite a bit. I'm going to continue moving these up here. Might be able to get all 4 of them done in time, but I don't know. I'll try and get them up there ASAP. And we actually have one of our first knives completed. Go ahead, yeah, make another one. Alexander, equip that knife. I know, I should have had bows and knives and everything ready well before this point. Oh, okay, that's just food poisoning. We're fine. But, you know, I don't know. I just, oh, here they come. I'm sorry. I'm yapping because I'm nervous. They're coming this way. Let's get behind our embrasures and prep ourselves for the attack. Here we go. They're on their way. I didn't get the last trap done. That's all right. That's a shame, but it's all right. Let's hope some of them end up hitting traps, though. Are we gonna get lucky? No! They're taking cover just behind the traps. Damn it. I don't even think we can shoot at them from here, can we? The short bows can. The shotgun, not so much. But I can come over here with my shotgun and take care of Duke with his. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. We killed Duke. All right, cool. Awesome. They're coming this way. They are going to start... Oh, I got hit by a bow. Here we go. They're gonna... Oh, they're taking cover down here by our base. Come on. I'm out in the open. There we go. Awesome. I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna kill this lady with the E-Man and myself, hopefully. I'll try to take cover right here. I don't have the... Oh, shit. I keep getting hurt, though. I'll have the E-Man distract her and I'll pop around the corner down here and blast her right between the eyes with the old shotgun, baby. Hello, Rachel. Hi, how are you? Goodbye, Rachel. We have an eclipse. Of all the times for an eclipse. Let's have Alexander Knobs. Come over here, Alexander. I need your help. I'm going to start tending. I'm going to start tending to myself. I got shot in the left arm and the right leg. That's quite the combination. Let's tend to myself, though. I want to try to keep myself from dying, preferably. Let's see. Alexander. Oh, the E-Man. All right, I'm done messing with Rachel. We have to rescue the E-Man. We can't lose our milkers. Not our milking folk. Oh, we do have this person. Antonia. Hello, Antonia. I wonder. Well, you might make for a pretty good milker, and we can take your hunting rifle. The best thing about this is we now have quite a few different weapons, thankfully, after defeating these people. So, we'll go ahead and start hauling those in as soon as we have the opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and mark them to haul urgently. I want to make sure that we're tending, of course, to the E-Man. I also want to... E-Man's no longer incapable. Okay. Alright, so I'm done tending to my wounds. I'm gonna come up here and start tending. Oh, tantrum, that's okay. I'm gonna start tending to our little Outlander up here, and hopefully we can actually save them and get them recruited, and we can start milking them. That's the name of the game here. Let's see if we're gonna manage to pull that off, or if they're going to die from blood loss. A little bit hard to say, but we'll find out. Here we go, and it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think we're gonna be able to take them. Antonia, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna throw you in the tiny little shack that we call a prison, and eventually we're going to recruit you and start milking you. I need the E-Man too when he has time to come and equip this knife here. That way everybody's got a knife. Well, you know what, to be honest with you, that went a lot better than I thought it would. It really did. I have to say, Mikino-chan, you're having a bit of a tantrum, but that's okay. That's the worst of it, it would seem, except for a few arrows and bullets and stuff that may or may not have hit us in our bones and limbs, but other than that, we're fine. Actually, they didn't have bows. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. They definitely had rifles. Rifles, shotguns, and pistols that we so desperately need. I want to take everybody off the area 1. We'll start hauling those down here. Not too shabby, though. Not too shabby. Once we get those non-lethal weapons, oh, we're going to be so much better shape. We'll actually be able to go about attacking our enemies without killing most of them, as you see here with Duke and the Taylor, who are all dead. And actually, speak of the devil, we have the combat supplier right now. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Admittedly, they don't seem to have much in terms of non-lethal weapons, but they do have a taser gun, so that's good. I'm gonna try to buy that real quick. Let me see if I can sell some of this off, like our lactation inducers. It's gonna help us out quite a bit. I guess we could sell components if we... No, we have gold. That'll work, right? Almost. We can sell our components. We have plenty that we can mine. We're very, very close. Oh, so close. Okay, wait. We need to sell some other stuff. They don't want anything else. We're very close to getting it. We're gonna get it. Let's see. What else can we... I could throw my shotgun in here. I would rather keep my... Oh, well, what about these other weapons? Let me haul, like, say, for example... Alright, so I've got a few components that we hadn't hauled in yet. That brought us up to 10. We're selling basically everything, including that shotgun, the double-barrel shotgun, the weapons we just got from the raid, except for the hunting rifle, thankfully. I'd like to keep it, and we'll be getting the taser gun. This is a ridiculous price for a taser gun, mind you, but, whatever. That's fine, I guess, whatever. At least this way, we actually get a taser gun. It's gonna be great. That way, we're not killing people, and we can go about milking them. That's the most important part, which is what's going to be happening to Antonia once we finally get her recruited. Looks like it's gonna take quite some time. She's got a 24 in resistance, but we will break her eventually, and then we'll milk her for all she's worth, quite literally. Speaking of milking them for all they're worth, Alexander Knobs, Mikino-chan, as well as our wonderful E-Man would all be milked all evening long. And with that, we have quite the little stockpile of milk. Admittedly, it's not all that much, but this is a wonderful start, I think, to our human milking farm. And with that, I guess there's really only one last thing for me to say this episode. God, milk. It's so stupid. See you later. Howdy friend, the name's Thornton. I'd like to welcome you to Lactasia Farms, our rural home on the range on the rim of the galaxy. We're known as the Milk Marauders, and as the name would suggest, we milk humans for profit. But today, friends, we're going to ramp up our operation with the help of this wonderful community suggestions. I love you guys. We're going to be making more money, and more importantly, we're going to be milking more people for their precious succulent nectar. I want to start off today with some research into cheese making, the perfect product, I think, for our human milk that we're getting. Since we're adding in the hospitality mod, it could be the perfect dish to serve to our visitors and our guests, almost like a signature of coming to Lactasia Farms, or we could just sell it to orbital traders, shooting our human milk cheese straight out into the galaxy. Speaking of hospitality, though, we need some proper places for guests to stay, do we not? And I think since this is Lactasia Farms, it would only make sense that we would have some cozy little cottages. You know how much I love building cottages. For now, we'll be starting out with 6 of them, but as the farm expands and increases in size, as will our tourist industry, I guess you could say. I like to think of it as some kind of sideshow tourist attraction. You go to a farm, humans get milked, you stay the night, eat some human cheese, something that the inner colonies of the RimWorld galaxy might want to come see. Hell, I don't know. I do know, however, that I want these cottages to feel a little less cottagey and a bit more groovy. I don't know, just seems fitting for this little mini-series we're doing. I like a good 60s vibe for them all. Each and every one needs to feel a little bit psychedelic, a little hippy-dippy for our guests. We're going to be starting these rooms off at $10 a pop. I think that's pretty fair. After we really ramp them up, maybe replace these shabby wood floors with some carpet. Once we have the research, maybe 50. Hell, I don't know. We'll figure something out, I guess. But I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I know what you're thinking. Ain't we supposed to be milking people? Well, I didn't forget to take some time between building our cottages to milk some of our fine humans. By the way, do you think people make like 2% or whole milk? Let me know in the comments. Anywho, looks like we finally finished that research up into cheese making. It's about darn time. Next up's gonna be the carpets, as I was previously discussing. But as we are working on that research, we are now going to be expanding our kitchen and our food storage area. That way we can start building some of these new cheese press machines. I also built us a stone cutting table, which is long overdue. That way we can start building some beautiful stone tiles in the kitchen, increasing its beauty, because eventually I would also like to turn it into something of a community kitchen, you know, a bed and breakfast type of deal. I wasn't sure how many of these machines we would need, so I threw together 3 of the cheese press machines. It looks like it takes about 50 human milk to make 25 cheese. That's a pretty fair return, I would say, and we had just enough to fill up 2 of these machines. The only problem is this seems to take an extremely long amount of time, so it looks like we're going to be waiting quite some time. It's a good thing we still have a lot of work to do before we get our first little batch of cheese. First and foremost, I'm going to fix up our food policies to ensure that we're not eating cheese, we're not using it to cook meals, stuff like that. I don't want any of this batch to go to waste. After taking some time to cut up those stone blocks like I was yapping about, we would end up finally finishing up the kitchen, improving it quite a bit with better flooring, and also adding in another table and some stools. That way, when we do have guests, they can come here and eat if they so choose. We also took quite a bit of time to go about making some more lactation pills, in case we were to want to sell those, or maybe force them upon our guests, and that way we could milk them, you know, either or. Oh, speak of the devil, our very first visitors. Looks like we got some folks from the Traders Guild. Hello, hello, come in, come in. We're not gonna milk you. Not right away, at least. They would all pay their 10 silver for their beds, putting a decent little penny in our pockets, which was something to be quite excited about, I'd say. Even more exciting was our prisoner Antonia had finally been broken in the mind, and she had finally decided to join us, and will now be renamed, randomly chosen, as Garrick 56. Welcome aboard. Now, let's get you to the milking table. Bit of time later, we finished up carpet making, which is great, because now we can also start on prisoner restraints. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. More on that later. Right now, we have plenty of carpets to put in these nice cottages. So I was right in the middle of going about building our beautiful carpets in guest rooms here, our little cottages, and we have Isabella Athene, who is attempting to leave, as they believe that their departure is nigh. They think it's for our hospitality. Well, Isabella, I'm very sorry, but unfortunately we're gonna have to stop you, because even though we can't milk you because you can't eat any food, you are far too great of a worker. Oh my god, please. Let us be able to stop them. No, wait! don't. Oh, Isabella, you're leaving us. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, God, they're getting away. Wait, oh, the hunting rifle. We're not fast enough. We still, no. Ah, Isabella, well... At least you departed on good terms. Damn it! Damn it. I can't believe we lost somebody. I didn't even notice that had happened until it was too late. They were already heading out this way. That's a shame. Ah, Isabella, you've left us high and dry, but luckily we have our other folks who we can, of course, milk. Obviously, again, Isabella couldn't be milked because Isabella couldn't eat or sleep, and they had the body mastery, which I still don't know what mod that's from, or if it's something in one of the DLCs. I don't think it's DLC content, but anyhow, they have left us. And we are down to 5. What a shame. What a shame. Even with the terrible news of one of our folks departing, we still have some good news, with that basically just being that we made some fine carpet in our cottages. Okay, so maybe the two aren't exactly comparable, but look how nice these rooms are now. As you can see, we went from mediocre, rather tight, neutral-looking rooms to slightly impressive, somewhat rich and pretty rooms. And I, for one, think that's quite the upgrade. So much, in fact, that people should start paying more money for it. I'm going to increase the price of these rooms by 20 silver, bringing us more money in. A little bit of time later, and we ended up having some cows join us here. Well, you beastly bovines, I am afraid we no longer need your nauseating nectar, for we have the real milk. The sweetest milk of all, as the Lord intended. Yep, anyways, we're gonna have some cheeseburgers, I guess. Now then, with that out of the way, we're gonna start working on a proper prison area. Now, I don't just want to have a place where we have some nice flooring and stone walls, making it hard for our prisoners to escape, and a beautiful place for us to quickly recruit them. But say, for example, we have some shitty prisoners who we don't exactly care about their skills, and the only thing they would really be useful for are milk bags, or milkable bags, you know what I'm saying. Cue our completion of the prisoner restraints research. Now with this, we'll actually be able to build some restraining beds that, say for example, those shitty prisoners I was just talking about who don't have decent skills and only are useful as milk bags, could be restrained if need be, and can be milked. You see, we have the best setup in the entire world. This bed here is for if they're cooperative and don't mind getting milked. This bed here is for... well, I think you already know. Now our primary and the biggest and baddest issue that we face is attempting to fill up those prison cells with milkable folk. I was hoping for a slave ship to help us alleviate this issue, but we got a bulk goods trader, which I guess is okay. They didn't have much, but they did have some Lactax, which is also a lactating-inducing drug, so I would buy some, and in exchange I would give them some of ours just to test it out to see if anything was different. I also sold a little bit of chem fuel, that way we could use the silver from the chem fuel to coal a slave ship or a combat supplier or whatever we wanted. Garrick would be the first to test out the new lactation drug, and I will say one of the things I like about this one instead is that you do get a mood buff from them being high on the Lactax, thus keeping our cows much more docile. However, when it comes down to milking, it gives us the exact same type of milk. Nothing really different here, it's worth the same amount of money and can also be used for cheese. So while we're waiting on everyone's nipples to be a little bit less tender for some more milking, I think we're also going to start planting a few crops, a few different fields of different crops to be more specific. We're going to be planting corn, cabbage, peppers, peas, anything and everything with the sole purpose of, as we realized there with the buff of the Lactax, keeping our cows healthy and happy with some nice fine meals. Sure as shit, the last thing that we need is a rebellion of our milkers. Or, milkies, I guess, since, you know, technically I'm the one squeezing them udders. Now, I want to try to solve the issue of, well, a few different things, but mainly getting some prisoners in here so we can either recruit them and milk them. Oh, we have a solar flare? Great. We can recruit them and milk them, or we could just, you know, keep them as prisoners and milk them. I've got a few solutions to this, but first, I want to see, because we have an ancient danger, I want to see what's in the ancient danger, mind you. Why does this looks a little strange? Maybe where I was smoothing it? I don't know. I'm gonna get everybody over here, though. We are going to get our weapons ready, just in case. And what I'm going to do is attempt to break into this, and we'll see what's inside. Okay, so no mechanoids, right? There is one mechanoid, a Militor. Okay, everybody come over this way. I don't want the Militor to accidentally disturb these cryopods. This is good, though. With the crypto sleep caskets, we could get some people who we could actually imprison and milk, or honestly get, recruit them, because they're probably going to have some pretty good skills. I don't want the Militor waking them up, though. That would be bad. All right, let's kill this little bastard, and then we're going to see what we can do with the folks that are in those cryptopods. Hello, how are you little monster? Shame we can't milk mechanoids. Oh, there we go. All right, so I don't want to open these just yet. We do have Glitter World meds, so that's good, and I'm going to crack open the hermetic crate. We have a Psychic Soothe pulser and another Psychic Soothe pulser. Pretty cool, I guess. Tech print for Cataphract armor. I don't care, to be honest. I really don't. The thing is that I care about are the people in here with some milkable teats, and I'm sure there are plenty. But now, I think because we know what's in there, and we know that we probably don't need a slave ship, as soon as we get the opportunity, I'm going to attempt to call the Orbital Traders Hub once the solar flare is over. Solar flare is ending! Great. So the reason I'm going to call the Orbital Traders Hub is because I'm going to request a combat supplier, and I'm going to try to get some more non-lethal weapons like stun batons and tasers, as you see here on Thornton, of course, myself. And of course the reason for that is because we want to come in here with non-lethal weapons if we can to try to take these people down so that we can actually restrain them and milk them all, as many of them as possible without killing them. I'm also going to start getting rid of all this shit that's in here and get it out of the way so we have a clear line of sight to do so. I'll put some more of these urns, I guess, in people's rooms, maybe? But it's a little depressing, I think, to have them in the actual rooms for guests. I don't think it would go with the groovy vibe that we're trying to pull off in there. We do have the offer now from the Orbital Traders Hub. I want a combat supplier, thank you. And you can have 580 silver. That's a-okay in my book. Gonna take a few days for them actually to arrive, so once that finally happens, we'll actually attempt to buy some of those non-lethal weapons, hopefully they actually have some. I wanted to do the research into them, but it would take forever. We have to do gunsmithing, and to get gunsmithing, we're gonna have to do machining, then we have to do smithing, which I will start on that right now, just so we can get a head start. We kind of need to do that stuff anyways, and I don't think I have anything else in mind at the moment, so. But that would take way too long. I'd rather just buy some if I can, so we can, non-lethally get some more milk bags. We have some visitors. Hello. Something that I think is interesting, or at least I've considered, is maybe adding the tenants mod and kind of creating something of a giant hotel. Most of the time in RimWorld, people make organ hotels, right? They'll get tenants and they'll collect their organs, or visitors and collect their organs. Ours would be a milking hotel, right? We build a big hotel and then we just milk them. And then we use that milk to make cheese, and then we feed it back to them and make money. Does that not sound wonderful? So let me know if you guys think we should do that in the next episode of this little series here going on. I would do it today, but I'd prefer to see your feedback, and really we need to focus on getting a lot more milkable people in today's episode in our prisons and just getting a higher population overall. So, but currently we await the combat supplier, and I guess I'm going to work on maybe defenses or something until then. I have some research, that kind of stuff. And so that's exactly what I began doing, just kind of expanding and moving our embrasures and other defenses out. That way, as we continue expanding the farm, we'll have more room towards the center to build and to play around with. This also feels like a good time to say that if you're looking for the mod list, it's in the video description, and I've added yet another new mod to the mod list, which is the non-lethal extras mod, which basically just adds in a few non-lethal traps and turrets, stuff like that. We still have to research them, but I think it'll be a nice addition. Oh, and I have bad news. We are under siege by the Itikan, the furry bastards. The good news is it looks like there's 6 of them, so that's the potential for 6 new milking machines. Our embrasures are really far away. I think Alexander has our highest shooting skill, so I'm going to give Alexander the hunting rifle from Garrick. They can swap weapons real quick, and we'll take Alexander down and see if Alexander can actually get some decent hits in. We'll stay up here. Mikino-chan, I'm going to bring you in because I don't want you to die. You're not capable of violence. We need somebody with a bit of a malicious touch. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We should, yeah, they're within range. Here we go. Potential milkers, beware. Let's see. I'm actually going to come down here too. We'll try to help Alexander out with this. I want everybody on run and gun, preferably. I really do not want any of those mortars coming our way. There's no, oh, they do have some incinerary shells, which would be really bad here in the grassland, especially since all our structures are made out of wood. Trying to get in a little bit closer here with the shotgun. I might get a little lucky. Here we go. Hey there, you furry bastard. Come, let me milk you, preferably. I should be fast enough. I think I can get away if they start coming our way, which I have no doubt they will very shortly. I'm gonna pull Alexander back. I think Alexander, yes, because Alexander has a peg leg. Oh, and here they come to assault the colony. I was going to say Alexander has a peg leg, so we gotta be really careful and make sure that we are not getting Alexander trapped down here where Alexander is gonna be too slow. I think we're gonna be good though. We should all, yeah, we're all running gun. Cool, cool, cool. Let's get up here and get behind our embrasures if we can. I think kind of leading them this way to hit some of our traps is going to be the best thing for us to do. Can we all focus, by the way? Focus. All right. Pull. Do we pull back? No, I think we need to stay right here. I've whipped out my taser in the hope that we might be able to stun this guy. And it looks like we kind of have, momentarily, if nothing else. There we go. Hit him with another. Okay, he's down. He's down. Shotgun. Okay, this person's coming. Tase. Tase. Open fire with the rifle. Tase. Quickly, Thornton. Tase. Oh my god. Pull back. Okay, we're shooting. I'm trying to get some distance here. There we go. Let's tase him. Yep. There we go. And now that we're done tasing you, let's swap to the shotgun, which might just help us out a little. Ah, there we go. Another one or two of those will be in good shape. I want to take as many of them as I can alive, but you see, the problem is they're cutting through our embrasures like wet cardboard, so I kind of have to kill them if I can. Dirty bastards. All right. Oh, that was a really good shot. We really came in clutch there. I don't think... They're just barely in range down here. Oh, we did kill another one, though. Hot damn. Oh, I'm down, though. I am down. Not good. E-Man, rescue me. Alexander, you keep doing what you... Okay, thank God they're fleeing. They're fleeing. Oh, good Lord. That bolt-action rifle's insane. Holy. All right, let's start tending to ourselves. Oh, we do have one of them, though. We have one of them. Right? I guess. I don't know. Not good at much. Good at animals. I don't really care about animals, so we might just keep you as a prisoner who gets milked. Let's capture you. And you're unwaveringly loyal. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You're going to be a milked prisoner then. You've already sealed your own fate. E-Man is very injured. I'm pretty injured too. Damn! They cut off my damn right middle finger and my right pinky. That's rough. Okay, let's have the E-Man tend to himself, and I'm going to tend to... I'll have Alexander, I guess, tend to me. Or Mikino-chan can actually tend to me. Alexander, tend to yourself. I'm gonna swap us all down to like herbal meds for the time being because we don't need to use up our Glitter World meds on this. Think we're gonna be a-okay though. Now Mikino-chan was gonna save the one guy. Here he is. He's going to die in 5 hours too, so... Well, now I'm not incapable of walking. I can tend to myself. So let's do that. Mikino-chan, capture that rate. I don't know. We're gonna change that name very shortly though because you are going to be a milked little fellow. Don't you worry. Alright, I think we're all gonna be alright though. Garrick needs tended to. The E-Man's all over it. Thanks, E-Man. What a good lad. What a good lad you are. Hopefully nobody gets any infections. We have that Glitter World medicine though we can use for infections. We'll be fine. I do want to go ahead and start harvesting more heal root. I know we're using it in our lactation medicine, but it would also be good to have some that we haven't already used up. So yeah, let's do that, and I think we're good. We beat that siege, even though, oh my god, our defenses took one hell of a beating. I need to swap out our shitty wooden embrasures, obviously, for some stone embrasures, but we do have our very own mortar now, so that's the good news, I would say. We could put that, I guess we could put it up here in the little farming area, the milking room that I still need to convert and make decent use of, but we got some other stuff down here that we can actually haul, like those shells walls, this is going to be absolutely splendid. Another great part about that siege, other than the fact that we didn't die, is that now many of our milkers actually have some better weapons to help us defend this place. Of course, they're quite lethal, and we still need to get non-lethal, blah blah blah, but they are going to come in quite handy, I think. Almost as handy as our restraining tables for our new friend here. Hello. Not to worry, you hairy little bastard, we're not gonna hurt you. Just drink this medicine, and in a few days we'll come back and squeeze your nipples. That sounds worse than it is. Hey, in better news, our cheese is almost finally ready to be taken out, which is pretty cool, and this will actually be some of the first money we actually make off milking humans once we get it sold. Bit of a slow process, all this work, and I would say we're probably not going to get all that much money for the cheese, but you know what, we're really not doing it for the money, are we? I mean, technically we are, but let's be honest, we're doing it for the love of the game. While we're waiting on people to get their milkers full of, well, you guessed it, milk, as well as our milk to turn into cheese, I thought, why don't we build a dedicated storage facility, and that way we can repurpose the other storage facility / workshop. More on that in a moment, because right now that combat supplier we requested and paid for is finally in orbit around the planet, and I am looking to do some trading. We would end up buying 2 non-lethal pistols and a syringe gun. Hell yeah. Now with these, the chances of us killing our targets, well, it's still pretty high, but it is much lower now than, you know, if we were shooting actual buckshot or slugs from our shotguns at their heads. This way, we just rattle them a bit, maybe a concussion, and then we can milk them. You see what I'm saying, right? Now that we finally have some non-lethal weapons, I also wanted to work on a bit of a trap over at the Ancient Danger. Well, before we wake up whoever the hell's sleeping in those crypto caskets, I want to ensure that we can sustain as little damage as possible towards ourselves and our milk machine folk when we actually try to capture some more milk machines. But because this can be very, very dangerous, I want to take care of a few other things first. First and foremost, building our very own dedicated workshop. Previously, as I'm sure you well know, our milking building with the milking table was our workshop / storage area. Now we've got that completely cleared out. After we sweep up some blood, a little bit of lactation fluid, and more blood, we'll be right as rain to start using it solely for making cheese and other human milk-based products. Oh yeah, speaking of which, it's finally time for us to get our first harvest of our cheese. In total, we have 50, and it is poor quality. I think the longer you leave it in, the better the quality. So perhaps I was a little bit hasty, but hey, this is the first time I think I've ever made cheese, especially out of human milk, so, you know, cut me a little slack. Now, the most interesting part about this quality is there is a lot of money-making potential if we get it up to legendary, which is the highest quality, because this also seems to affect the price. That could be a good way for us to actually make a vast fortune. More on that later. You know what? Actually, this is all the cheese that we're able to make at the moment, so more on that right now. We are going to be turning our main building in the center of the farm into, well, it was going to be a milking station where I imprison people, but a bit of a change of plans. It's going to be something of a cheese emporium, where we end up making all of the cheese. And so thus, our vast fortune as well. Now we need to just collect all of the milk that we can from our eager participants, as well as some of those participants that are not as eager. But I will say, even after all of this, we still don't have quite enough for the cheese. However, Rate, or whatever the hell this furry bastard's name is, did prove themselves to be quite useful as a milk bag, and so they will have a proper name now, with that being Requiem, chosen at random, of course. Congratulations, Requiem. Now you stay put, okay? In a bit of lesser news, as we were continuing on, we had a Muffalo self-tame. Now, initially, I thought about just eating it. I don't plan on milking it, but its wool might be useful, and if we need to do any caravans, it would also be very useful, so I've decided to keep it. And that also means that it needs a name, so if you wonderful folks in the comment section want to leave a name for me to look at and to judge, and then I'll judge you and Just give me a name, I don't know. We would also end up having a slave ship in orbit around the planet. Now, I know I said earlier I didn't need a slave ship, but I decided to see what they had for sale. And they did have a slave by the name of Kaz, who we would end up purchasing. Nice to meet you, my happy-go-lucky, bowl-cut-having friend, but I hate your name, and so now you, chosen at random, will be known as Jordan S, because your full name wouldn't fit. Welcome aboard. Alright, damn it, here's the deal. We're pretty far into this video, and yet, we've barely gotten any other milkers. So, I've got everybody equipped with their non-lethal weapons, and we're going to be coming over to the embrasures. We're going to attempt to open up the ancient cryo-sleep caskets. We should be able to shoot these from a distance, I think, causing them to open, so that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully that works. Jordan S, we didn't have a non-lethal weapon, so we gave you a mace. You'll be able to hit people with it. It's kind of non-lethal as long as you don't kill them. I'm gonna try to get everybody. I think I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna get the syringe gun here. Non-lethal pistol can be back there. I think that's good. Let's see, can the syringe gun open up one of these caskets? Indeed it can. So we already have 2 people that we can take. We've got 4 others standing, and we have 5 mega scarabs. I hate mega scarabs. Ugh. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll start opening fire on the enemies here. Oh my god. Mega scarabs. Oh, jeez. Are they coming for us, by the way? Oh, Christ. Wait, no, they're not. Thank God. Alright, good. It doesn't look like they are. Hit this person with the syringer, please. Tase them. You are going to be coming with us, and so are you, Mitch. Uh oh, somebody died. Damn it! This guy named Gomez. Bastard. Ah, we missed. Come on. We'll get him over here. Ow! You bastard! Come on, Thornton, get up here. Can we shoot this person from here? We're trying to hit them with the syringe gun. Thornton, oh my god, Thornton, tase this person, please. Ah, Thornton, come on! Alexander Nobbs, help us out a bit. There we go. There we go. We're starting to hit them at least. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. There we go. Oh, what the hell? How did that happen? We accidentally killed them. That's a shame. Garrick, you're doing pretty good, but you're getting shot by an actual gun. Problematic to say the least. Let's pull away from here. You're doing okay, but I kind of want you to go tend to yourself. Yes, go tend to yourself. Oh, you don't have a very good doctoring skill, but I would prefer you do that. We'll just take cover, we'll hide, and then we'll pop out at the last second. I don't want them to hit the bear trap, but if they hit the bear trap, I mean, okay. Not much I can do about that. Can you stop puking and come up here so we can zap you, please? Thank you. Hello. Oh, shit. We missed. Everybody pull back. Pull back. I don't want to be visible. Come on. Damn it, Thornton. What the hell? Jordan, help out Thornton. This person's going to keep shooting at us as long as they can see us. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Oh, let's get out of their field of view again, please. And they're dead. Son of a bitch. Out of the entire ordeal, looks like we only got 2 people. That didn't go quite as well as I hoped it did. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I really wanted it to go a little bit more in our favor. That's fine. Alexander Nobbs, let us capture. Actually, I'll get the E-Man to capture these people as well as Alexander. Oh, why are you going in there? All right. Hello, Schlitzer. Schlitzer, how badly injured are you? Death in 5 hours. We'll tend to you, actually. I don't want any of you to die. No immediate death, likely on... I don't care about your names. You're gonna have new names very shortly anyways. We are going to be capturing these few people, though, and of course, we are going to be attempting to recruit them and turning them into milkable workers as well. Jordan can't really do doctor work. That's fine. I need to tend to myself here, but I also don't need this person dying. So let's tend to him. Alexander Nobbs can tend to me, or the E-Man, whoever. Yeah, E-Man can tend to me then. I don't want to die either, you know, preferably. All right, we're doing fairly well. All right, we've got both of them though. We're gonna recruit them both. Welcome aboard, or soon to be welcome aboard. We won't put you in restraints and milk you, since neither of you are unwaveringly loyal, which is good. Let's go ahead and haul that shotgun out of there. Oh, did you have a shotgun on you? Nice, nice. You had drugs, a shotgun, and some gold. You both had a lot of gold, actually. That's pretty good. I'm gonna deconstruct the caskets. I think they give us uranium, and we'll also get some of these weapons. Oh, I wish we should maybe do the post-mortem organ harvesting. Or can we? Yeah, I think we'd have to have that. That's a recon eye. I think it's better than a bionic eye. I might add that. I don't know. I wouldn't mind having it, though. I'll tell you that. Oh, we have Schwartz? Am I stupid? Don't answer that. I didn't even realize that we also had Schwartz up here. So we have 3 people who we will be rescuing, quote unquote, and we will be turning into milkable folk. That's going to be great. What happened? Disease infection on Garrick. That's okay, Garrick. You'll be fine. Let's bump you up to Glitter World meds. We'll make sure that you are resting, and we will tend to that. I think you'll be fine. Where's Garrick's bed? We need more beds, too. That's what we're getting ready to work on, because we very desperately need some more room. I think we've also had some issues where guests can't claim these fancy rooms, so I'm going to make some shabbier ones for them. Some cheaper ones, of course. We'll also go ahead and tend to Garrick, though. Yeah, let's go ahead and tend to it, and we are going to ensure that she gets the best medical care possible. We're also going to go ahead and tend to Schwartz as well, and hopefully we'll be able to recruit him as well as his friends here within no time. That would be very nice. Well, in the meantime, as we are working on that, we are also going to start working on some of those cheaper rooms. You could call them more modest rooms, more humble if you wish, but the bottom line is they're cheap as shit. It didn't cost as much to make them. They're okay quality, I'd say, and they're going to be $10 per bed. The cheapest that we can make them. Now, you might wonder what this even has to do with milking colonists and making money off of them. Well, the more people we have coming here visiting and having a good time, the more often they're going to come back, right? Frequent flyer kind of situation. And when we start putting out our cheese and things for sale, these people will most likely be more likely to buy. That's the idea. By this point, we finished our research into machining. Now we're going to begin working on gunsmithing, which is going to bring us one step closer to being able to make our own non-lethal weapons. Again, it's much easier to buy them, but while we're waiting, we might as well be able to make them, I guess. After a few more days, we finally managed to recruit Schwartz, Reineich, and Schleitzer, who are now going to be known as Yo-Yo Dude 67111, Bishy 93, and Sarek. I just realized in post it's Yo-Yo Dud 67111. I am so sorry. Alright, you 3, let's get to lactating. Post haste. We got cheese to make, you filthy freeloaders. Speaking of which, enough time has passed and we have finally collected enough milk that we are able to load up 3 of our cheese machines, hoping to get them to a pretty high quality as well. We've also got those bedrooms fully completed by this point, and we have them set up so we shouldn't have any more issues with our visitors not having beds at all, unless they're just extremely poor, in which case we don't want them. However, what we do want is a cheap, quick, and affordable way for us to sell many of our human milk products like our cheese. I introduce to you the vending machine, my friends. You stuff some cheese inside, a customer pays some money, voila, they have cheese. And we have money. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, you've got it in the vending machine, won't it just rot and mold in there? Well, joke's on you, silly pants, because this cheese won't spoil for 2 years. By that point, surely to God we would have sold all of it. Speak of the devil, I think we actually have some visitors coming now from the Traders Guild. Hello, hello, would you like to buy some human nipple milk cheese? That might be a strange way to put it. I don't really have a name for it just yet. Maybe Thornton's Horton cheese? Hell, I don't know. I'm trying my best, though. I'm getting close, huh? It's a work in progress. I'm workshopping it. I'll have the branding done soon, okay? Let's see if they actually end up buying some of the cheese once they get hungry. They should, right? They are coming up here. They're very poor, it would appear. That's okay, you poverty-stricken fool. You're gonna give us 10 silver. The whole point of you coming here is to see the human farm, so technically we're making money off of you already, which is good. This person, I think, is going to go to one of our better rooms. Indeed, indeed. Hello. Wait, you've been here for a while. You're not that what are you doing here? Oh, you're leaving, and you gave me components. I accept. Thank you. But you've been here for quite some time. Where's the other Traders Guild? Are they both poor? I don't know. They haven't actually went anywhere yet. I can't find them. Wait, where's the other person? Hello? We've got Eugene. Hell, I don't know, dude. Losing my damn mind, I guess. They're all from the Broken Dominion, which is the Empire. Where's the other person? I know we had another person from the Traders Guild, did we not? Oh, there you are, you little freak. Can you not claim a bed? You have 25 silver. You can claim a bed. Why are you sleeping out here? You better be saving that money. You had better be saving that money to buy some of our cheese, or I swear to God, I don't know. I might milk you too. Somebody might milk you. It might be me. I might do it. Oh, wait. 46. No! Oh my God. A mega scarab is eating from the vending machine? You little bastard. You think you can just eat our cheese, you little monster? Yeah, I don't think so. It's, oh god, it was eating our cheese. I got excited. I thought somebody like Eugene might have bought it. Well, there is a little flaw in the design, okay? That'll do it. That would explain it, I guess. All right, Eugene. Oh, you brought your own food, Eugene? Son of a bitch. You've got all kinds of food. Oh, that sucks. I was really hoping you might buy some cheese. Everybody's got their own food. Whatever. Wait, are you gonna claim a room? You bastards, bringing your own food. I might have to sell this to Orbital Traders then, because I really want to make some money off our human milk, but they're not buying it from the vending machines. That sucks. I don't want to call a trader. Oh, we have a mad muffalo. I'll deal with that. I don't want to call a trader, though, because it's too expensive to request that they come here. Also, I can sell them one singular, like, well, it's 50 wheels of cheese, but it's not worth it, you know? Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. No. Okay. It was off camera because I just killed the muffalos. We just made money off our cheese. There was 47. There's 45. Look, okay? This person, Tally, bought 2 pieces of cheese from us. Oh, my God. All right, look, we're not millionaires, but that's a huge thing. We finally made money off our human milk for once. That's insane. Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, even though they have meals, they will buy the cheese. Hot damn. What's the lifetime earnings? $15. We made $15 off 2 pieces of cheese. I mean, come on. That's pretty good, ain't it? Oh, shit. Oh, that's awesome. Are you yes, look, she collected the money. Oh my God, we have so much money all of a sudden. Imagine once we get this other cheese done and it's actually great quality, which currently it's not even at awful. It's at 5.2%. That's a shame, but that's okay because we will be getting to an insane quality after a long period of time. We'll get there. We just gotta keep on milking and milking and milking, and eventually we're gonna make our way to the top, baby. By the way, if you want to add your name onto the list of patrons that are being randomly chosen to be milked, I suppose, you can always subscribe to my Patreon at the Support Rat tier or the Rat Specialist tier. Either of those is going to get your name put into the randomly generated picker to be picked to be milked. And of course, you also will get early access to videos if you're a rat specialist at least one day ahead of time, every episode, every series that I do, if that's something you're interested in. And either of the tiers will get your name added into, of course, the drawing, as well as the end credits of each video. But with that, my friends, I suppose that's been enough for today. I love you. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Howdy, partner. The name is Thornton. Say, you wouldn't mind if I milked you, would you? Hold that thought, buddy. I need to drink me an ice-cold glass of leche. Welcome all you fine connoisseurs of dairy products to Lactasia Farms, our little home out on the range where we've been milking people for profit. It has been quite some time since we've done some milking, so long, in fact, it would seem that the human milk economy mod has been completely swapped out for another version, which actually seems to work. Well, not really. More on that later. Today, my friends, we are going to be turning Lactasia Farms into the ultimate tourist destination where all these fine connoisseurs, as I mentioned, of dairy products can come and, well, enjoy said products from our humans who are being milked. Many of which are my wonderful staff, many of which are maybe a prisoner that we have hidden in a deep dark cell, and potentially even some of our visitors soon enough. The extension of our kitchen and dining room that you see us working on right now is going to be the most comfortable hotel this side of the rim. Having nice, soft, comfortable beds, a beautifully lit room with a gloriously psychedelic shag carpet. What more could anyone want? But these rooms aren't just for any old traveler who wants to spend a few bucks to stay the night at Lactasia Farms. No, we are going to be placing advertisements for some folks who actually want to rent out rooms in the hotel for long periods of time to get the full experience of Lactasia Farms. I think you see where I'm going with this. Of course, every good hotel needs a proper lobby where they can check in and pay us money, maybe also check out some of our fine products that we'll have lined up in here as well that they could purchase and do a bit of a taste test on. Of course, though, as we continued working on our business, there's always the naysayers like the Outlanders who started demanding money from us for protection. Yeah, I don't think so. We can bloody damn well protect ourselves. Mind your own business. Ah, glorious news. The mailman has come with tidings of Abigail, who is looking to rent out one of our rooms for that full Lactasia farm experience that I was talking about earlier. Howdy, ma'am. Now, before you get settled into your room, everybody has to take a multivitamin. Yeah, that's it, a multivitamin. Yeah, you go ahead and take that, okay? And to get that full experience, you're gonna need a proper farming name. Let's see, how about Doc Rocks, who has been chosen at random, of course. A splendid name for you, ma'am. Now get your ass back to the hotel. You got a lot of lactating to do. Enjoy your stay. Now then, with that finally out of the way, we can start putting the finishing touches on our hotel lobby. Outlanders. Oh, the Outlanders have arrived. It looks like it's just a couple of them. Yeah, only one group I'm seeing, so yeah, they'll prepare for a while and then attack. Well, we're not going to... Oh, hello. Outland, you know what? I'm going to send you away for now. Don't come in here. We're going to have to deal with these Outlanders. Now, preferably, we could deal with these Outlanders without murdering them, and that is what we want to do, if at all possible. So, myself, E-Man, and Alexander Nobbs are going to be the ones who come down here and try to hit them with some rubber bullets, as well as tasers, and Jordan S. can smack them over the head with the uranium mace, and hopefully that will murder them. But, if we really need to, of course, we've got Yo-Yo Dud, and we've got Sarek, who can also come in with their weapons. Now, Bishy, I forget. Yeah, you're a really good shot. Desperately, we need to get you a weapon. For now, you can stay up there until we handle things. So we've got the Outlanders. We're gonna make our move. Probably it would be best for us to wait for them to come to us, but that's okay. We'll just kind of move up here. We do have this little area here from the, what was it? The siege that happened. Yeah, I couldn't remember the word. I'm not able to get in there with the taser from here. So, what if I come around this way and then move up here? I'd like to be able to hit Laura first, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Let's rush in. They're gonna be shooting at us. Oh, that's fire, folks. Okay, and I got shot. I thought we had a smoke pop pack. My bad. My bad. Alright. Laura. Hello. Laura, I'm gonna keep you right here, and I'm gonna keep stunning you. And Jordan S. is going to come around this way and hit you in the back of the head. You might live, you might not. We'll see how it goes. Keep them right there, Thornton. Keep them right there. Hang in there, Laura. We're coming. There you are. There you are. Gotcha. Yeah, oopsie poopsie about the smoke pop pack. I'm so stupid. We need a few more of those, though. It would help, I think. Actual smoke pop packs, not the fire foam, of course. Theo, come on, Theo. All right, they're fleeing, which means, oh yeah, we accidentally killed Laura. That's not okay, but you know, good, I guess. At least they're going away. Hold on, wait, Theo, come here, Theo. Don't you run off just yet. We're not quite through with you. Tase his ass. Oh, son of a bitch. Another one that we can't milk. How are we supposed to milk people if we keep killing them, guys? Come on. Good God. Well, this brings me to our next bit of research we're currently working on. We actually recently finished up blowback operations, and we're now working on gun turrets. Now, after this, we're going to be jumping into the vanilla expanded research, where we're going to do non-lethal weapons, and ultimately, this is going to give us a non-lethal turret. There should also be, yeah, upgraded turrets here. We'll need the, is it this one? Tools Extra. This is going to give us, as you can see, rubber shotguns, syringe guns, stuff like that, taser sentries. All this is going to be great, but all that, of course, we need gun turrets to do the automatic ones, and then non-lethal weapons to get any of the non-lethal ones. Yo-Yo Dud food binge. That's okay. Just don't drink any of the milk that we plan on selling and stuff. Yeah, and as you can see, the hotel here that we're building is coming along quite nicely. I want to improve the dining room here for our guests for sure. We've almost got the lobby area and these two other rooms finished, which is great. I don't think I've really talked about this yet, but what we're working on inside the lobby is also we're going to have a cash register with an area here where we're going to have our milk, our human milk, and of course our cheese. Now, something else. I didn't really talk about this. I know I said I was going to bring it up, so I guess now's a good time. The human milk economy mod seems to have been updated or republished or whatever, but I'm suspending the collection of human milk, and I'll show you why. The reason reason we're doing that, I want to make sure everybody's getting tended to, by the way. Thornton's tended to, okay. Jordan S. should be getting tended to. The reason why is because we can collect it. Thornton, not lactating, and yet he's collecting milk. It doesn't make sense, right? Which is such a shame, because that means it's not working properly. And it's such a shame, too, because we could make milk-based meals, which we could sell to people. But because the human milk isn't really, you know, working right, because obviously we shouldn't be getting milk from Thornton, you know, it's not good. And I could just set it up so the folks who are lactating do the human milking on themselves, but they would never stop because they aren't actually getting rid of any lactation. It's just as if it's spawning it in by collecting it here. So as cool as it is to have as a prop and stuff in our little cheese house, I don't actually plan on using them, unfortunately. I could maybe switch up the ingredients on the human-based meals. I might do that with milk. I don't even know if it's worth it, really. I feel like they're not worth that much money, but let's see. It's really not that big of a deal anyways, but how much, hold on. Milk-based meals are worth 14 bucks, so I think the cheese is still better in terms of, you know, pricing, and of course for making us money. So, unfortunately, these aren't going to be used still. I'm still using the lactation pills because I have them set up to do the biotech lactation, which it starts and you have to continue taking them and for a certain period of time, like you would expect. So that's why it's in the mod list still, but yeah, I don't know. I can't get it, you know, it's just not working properly, but it's not that big of a deal because the setup that we currently have using the lactation pills and selling and making cheese and stuff, that still works. Speaking of which, I've also added in, of course, the fridges, the refrigerators, so we can actually do a fridge vending machine. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm actually going to get rid of this one. And that way, even though our cheese will last for a very long amount of time, at least it'll be refrigerated. I feel like, I don't know if you've ever eaten cheese straight from the fridge, but it's definitely better than having it sit out in the hot sun for a few hours. So I think that upgrade is desperately needed. So we'll start selling it out here as we have been with our vending machine, and we can also go about selling that and the other milk and stuff from these freezers in the hotel lobby, which we'll be finishing very shortly. And it wouldn't take us long at all before the lobby would end up being completed. As you can see, it is a nice place for folks to do a bit of shopping, maybe listen to some music while waiting on staff to prep their rooms and what have you. And of course we have our one and only Mikado-chan behind the register with a smiling face, sort of. The hotel, of course, is going to be our money maker, not only because they pay us hundreds upon hundreds of silver for each month that they're staying with us, accumulating in, well, a lot of money, but also because we're going to be milking all the guests because that's what they want, probably. And so we're going to be selling that back to them. It's literally the infinite money glitch, if you think about it. Actually, don't think about it, because it's not. Here's something for you to chew on in that brain of yours, though. We finished up research into gun turrets, and as mentioned, are immediately going to begin on non-lethal weapons. A potential defensive setup to go about capturing anybody that we want to milk with minimal casualties is well within our grasp. But as we continue working on that research, we're also going to continue beautifying the farm a bit, especially in these areas like our warehouse and our workshop where we're synthesizing our lactation drugs, basically areas that we spend a lot of time. I think they could definitely use some nicer flooring, not only because it's a bit more sanitary, but also it will cause us to have less mental breaks. And since we expect to get a large increase in our staff in the very near future to help us out with the farm and the hotel and everything that we're building here, we're also going to be building some more housing for all our potential workers. This is also going to prevent them from trying to take some of the beds in the hotel from our sweet, succulent, milkable guests. To ensure we're not getting too big for our britches, at least in terms of our electricity, we would also end up putting a few more windmills into our power grid. Not to worry though, this is still a human farm, so we were sure to make plenty of time to go about doing a lot of milking, even from our pal Requiem out there in the prison. He was so happy to contribute to the farm. Help. Don't worry about him, he'll be fine. Worry about all the profits that we're going to be making off this sweet nectar. Our milk and cheese and our nice rooms, all of this culminating together for our guests to have a very, very pleasant stay here at the farm. So much, in fact, that many of them were even leaving us some hearty tips, with that being weapons or gold or basically anything. We would also have yet another fellow by the name of Tradix who is looking to rent out one of our hotel rooms indefinitely. repeatedly, so of course we accepted. Welcome aboard, Tradix. Take your multivitamin, okay? It'll make you feel big and strong. Speaking of which, we need to get rid of that weak, pathetic name. No longer Tradix, now Knight of Cerberus. Welcome aboard. Now, something I haven't mentioned this entire video is the fact that we are currently making a lot of cheese in our cheese presses in our cheese house, with 3 of them currently being at 77% at poor quality. We want to try to get these as high as possible, up to legendary if at all possible, as this quality of cheese will sell for a shit ton of silver in comparison to what we have been producing. But like a fine wine, cheese only gets better with time. And time, and time, and time. Basically what I'm getting at is it's going to take an extremely long amount of time before we get to that quality, so we have a lot of waiting to do. And I am so impatient, I have to tell you. Luckily, though, we have finished our research into non-lethal weapons by this point. Now, moving on to non-lethal tools extra, which is going to give us some of those turrets that we're looking for. In particular, I think the taser sentries are going to be outstanding. And so this would help me satiate my impatience and my anxious desire to go about doing literally anything here at Lactasia Farms by giving me the chance to start building a lot of these defenses. We're going to be putting non-lethal turrets, the turrets that shoot rubber bullets, as I understand it, in pretty well every single corner of the farm itself, with some nice embrasures blocking them from getting destroyed as easily and giving us plenty of cover as well. By the time it was all said and done, we had 4 of these areas built, and I hope that they actually help us get a nice return on our investment, because I had to purchase components to finish building all these turrets, and I'm a little salty about it. Although the upfront payment from our new tenant Fuller should help us cover the cost. Welcome aboard, little fella. You look like you would probably be pretty tickled to be milked, but you are not going to be named Fuller, of course. Your new name is Opie. Opie? I never knew how to pronounce your name, Opie. I apologize. In other good news, we had a set of lovers. Well. Sarek ended up romancing Bishy93. I must say, you two, I wasn't expecting any of my patrons to fall in love in a place like this, but more power to you. Besides, the happier you are, the sweeter the milk. The next step, though, for us here at the farm was going to be making many non-lethal pistols. That way, every single person within our employment here also has one. That way, they're not punching holes in the people that we want to get the milk from. Continuing on was more of the same. We finished the research into non-lethal tools extra, and now are going to be looking into non-lethal turrets upgraded, just better versions of what we can now build. I'm not sure that we'll even really need them now that everyone, and I do mean everyone, is packing some serious non-lethal heat. All these non-lethal weapons, all this building, all this milking has taken up a lot of time, and we are finally at 100% and normal quality of our cheese in the cheese house, which is actually the highest quality that we've achieved yet. But we must continue awaiting it to ripen further through higher and higher qualities. Alas, more waiting. But we are going to be locking the doors and letting the cheese house get hot and ripe, and I could not imagine the smell in there. We also ended up getting our 4th tenant yet for the hotel. It would seem that the farm and life is quite popular for most folks. We have here Doctor, but they are of course going to be named Joe Marino. Welcome aboard, Joe. Now prep them teats for milking, boy. As we're milking all of our new friends. Huh. That makes me think we should send out a bit of a friendship mission to the Outlanders, not only so they stop attacking us, but that way we can start getting them coming here as guests and we can sell our cheese and stuff to them. I think that peace is the best option. So we're going to be sending out a little caravan to drop off some goodies to make friends. And before we do that, we do have a wonderful name for our Muffalo who's going to be carrying all of our goodies, with that being Butter the Muffalo, which is a wonderful suggestion from our friend Luca Pogliarini 1011. And I think you're correct, my friend, with Butter being something of a local attraction for the hippie tourist. Maybe they come in and pet Butter and that sort of thing, like a petting zoo, and then they go and drink some human milk and eat some cheese. I, being the leader and sole proprietor, of course, of Lactasia Farms, would end up riding Butter with all sorts of goodies, like different leathers and even gold and stuff like that, and I ended up offering this to the Outlanders. Naturally, they accepted, and the two of us are neutral. Not allies, but we don't hate each other anymore. Oh, great. You make friends with one, and then you gotta kill another. The pigskins are here, and funny enough, one of them is actually the leader. Fleeb is the leader of their faction, which is interesting. Hello, Fleeb. I think you should have come a bit better prepared as a leader, but what do they have? They have a few pistols, a knife, they have dynamite, grenades, and Molotov cocktails. They are going to be preparing for a moment, which I think is going to be a good opportunity for us to try to hit them with a mortar. Now, I know, we want to try to keep them alive, if at all possible. I get it, I know that, but the thing is, if we can kill some of them, I don't really care. As long as we can get like a handful to keep for milking purposes, that's fine by me. Realistically, with the mortar, I think it'll be a lucky shot if we can even manage to hit one of them with it, but we'll see. Yeah, that was a bit of a miss, I'm gonna aim right in the middle here if I can. That might do us pretty good. Everybody needs some armor. We don't really have armor on most of our people, which is a bit of a problem. You know, I forgot our guests are incapable of fighting. I was gonna say we could recruit our guests to try to help us out with this a little bit. I want to go non-lethal, but there's so many of them, 8 of them, and they have explosives. If we need to, I'm gonna kill some of them. I don't care. Oh, that would have been a good one. Come on. All right, let's start bringing some of our people down. I have a feeling they're going to attack soon. I'll bring Bishy, Sarek's on the mortar. I'm going to bring Jordan, Garrick. Who else? I'll bring Alexander with the hunting rifle as well, and the E-Man, of course. Some of them non-lethal, some of them lethal, whatever it takes, right? I just don't want to get hit by any explosives, especially if we can prevent them from destroying some of our turrets that we worked so hard on, by the way. Hello! Oh! Well, that helped out a little bit, huh? And they're beginning their assault. Here they come. All right, let's get Sarek over here with the bolt-action rifle to help us. Again, I would love to be non-lethal here, but, I mean, you know, you can only expect so much from me. Yeah, we gotta be careful, though, because many of our people don't have armor here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, Molotovs are down. Who's got the... We've got grenades back here, and we've got dynamite here. That's who we need to watch out for, right? Fire at that person. Everybody start moving back. I don't want to get hit by any of that damn dynamite, preferably. Everybody on run and gun, by the way. Yep, there's some dynamite. I knew it. Oh, looks like we've arrived. Hello, me and Yo-Yo Dud are here. Let us join the fray, as it were. Bowman, back up, Bowman. This is a good opportunity to probably take somebody out, right? I'm gonna kill you, because you're a little bit too close for comfort, and if I have to do it, I'll do it, by golly. Our turrets are keeping them distracted, which is great. That's great. Oh my god. Oh my god! Fleeb, he's dead! What happened, you idiot? Wait, where is Fleeb? Oh, yeah, that one's Fleeb. We kill- Oh, well, I didn't really want to kill him. I'd rather have milked him. They're losing people. The dynamite is right there and is gonna throw more, which is a shame. Okay, well, since they're running away, everybody switch to non-lethal, except for Sarek. I want Sarek to actually swap over to that bolt action. We'll chase them down. Everybody else, though, shoot Bowman with your non-lethal weapons, and let's see if we can take him alive. Damn it. After so long, you know, so much non-lethal becomes lethal, I guess. We didn't lose our turrets, though, which is great. At least not so far. Let us continue. I want to catch one of them. Please, I need to... John, come back, please. Please, John, I need you to come. It's raining. It's going to be so hard to hit him. Oh, come on. I just want to milk you. Damn it. Did we get any of the pig people? No. We killed so many of them. The thing is, the non-lethal, it's good. It is. Like the rubber bullets and stuff is good. But taser sentries are much better because they stun, and when they stun, the best thing you can do, and I did this in the organ harvesting series that I did, you can actually hit them with like some the toxic gas and knock them out, like the tear gas, which is the best way to go about doing things. In that series, though, I did a kill box, and I don't want to do that here. So we'll need to figure out a different way to go about doing it, but I think also syringer turrets are good. The sentries, but we need Nutramine for those, so it's something to keep in mind. I think I will throw in, yeah, I'll throw in a taser sentry like here. We might need to find some components to mine or purchase some, but I'll throw at least one taser sentry in on our defenses each. I think that's going to be a good addition, and that'll help us out a lot. Again, the non-lethal turrets, non-lethal pistols, it's all great, but the issue with all that is that even though they're non-lethal, when we all have them and we're pelting them in the face and everywhere, they become a little bit more lethal, right? So that's what ends up happening, it would seem. But yeah, we'll end up building some of those. We do actually have some components here that I must not have spotted before. And over here, my god, I didn't need to buy components at all. Although we've been burning through a lot of them, so I guess we might as well. We do have a lot of steel here on this map. We'll go ahead and do that, and if I find any ship chunks and stuff, we'll deconstruct them too, and I think that'll give us the amount of the taser turrets that we need. I think they have a much shorter range, though I could be mistaken on that. It's about the same. They are definitely a lot better at not doing this right here, so yeah. What do we, I feel like we should do something special with Fleeb. I don't even know where we took him. I guess we've already hauled his corpse away, but that's a shame. I wanted to milk him. If anybody was gonna get milked, it was going to be Fleeb as their leader, you know. It's I really want to fill up these prison cells. Although today's episode mostly focused on the hotel and the tourism side of things, I think next episode, which will probably end up being our final episode because we're coming to a decent completion of the human farm so far, we'll probably end up filling our prison cells and milking our prisoners. I think that's going to be the perfect way for us to end up ending this series. Speaking of which, we need a shelf over here. That way we can put our mortar shells on it without it going bad so quickly. We'll get that built. We'll throw those up there. And yeah, we're going to continue trying to improve our defenses here with the taser sentries. Got a tendency concluded. We've been getting a lot of people renting out the hotel, and we're getting a lot of money from that, which is amazing. How much do we have right now? 183? I felt like we should have got more than that. No? Oh, maybe just where we bought some stuff. But yeah, like for example, so Doc Rocks here pays 120 silver for every 4 days, which is 480. So I mean, alone there. But yeah, we bought some stuff. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Since we see that our defenses work quite well, and we have been working on those for quite some time, I thought that maybe we should continue fixing up our little farm here, but most importantly, of course, the touristy destinations, such as our hotel. We've worked a lot on the rooms, but we haven't worked on the kitchen/dining room in quite some time. So what you see us doing here is adding in plenty of booths with some nice, comfortable, beautiful chairs and beautiful flooring to make sure that the guest dining experience is as exquisite as possible. Besides, the fine calcium-packed meals that we provide to our guests with our human milk and human milk cheese deserves a glorious, honorable place to be eaten, does it not? Our research into upgraded non-lethal turrets would be completed around the completion of our dining room, now giving us access to many great grand machines that can help us knock people out without killing them. And as we talked about earlier, all of our folks here desperately need some armor. So to begin with that, we are going to begin working on simple helmets to at least keep our noodles safe and sound, if nothing else. We would also begin working on basic electronics as our next research project, as there are a few recreational items in that research I'd like to have. Speaking of which, our farm and or company rec room for our employees and myself is a little bit lackluster, no? Especially since our guests seem to be interested in attempting to use it as well. We'd spent so much time building the finest rooms on this entire planet in our establishment, as well as making some of the finest meals from the finest ingredients from the finest people. You see where I'm going with this? We had completely neglected to try to fulfill the entertainment needs of our guests. And so we began construction on a grand recreational facility just adjacent to the hotel lobby. After folks check in, they can go and gamble away their money at the poker and faro tables, or perhaps play some darts, or even some billiards, whatever they wish to do. And in case that wasn't enough to tickle their fancy, we had also finished that research into basic electronics, allowing us to create a few other recreational items, such as a computer. This way, our guests can actually communicate with their family across the galaxy if they wish, to tell them what a wonderful time they're having here, perhaps even bringing us in a bit more business as a result. We also threw in a couple of arcade machines in case any of their kiddos feel like playing some games while they're waiting on their parents to check in at the hotel, or even adults can play them. I don't really give a shit. Perhaps this is all a bit overkill, but then again, that is kind of the point. Look, so most people, I'd say, are kind of a bit hesitant to come to a farm and stay in a hotel where people get milked, and rightfully so, I would say. So we want to make sure that we have all of the greatest luxuries to attract as many folks as possible. Speaking of which, we would also have yet another guest who is going to rent out a room in the hotel, going by Bodenstein? Yeah, no. How about Ravioli Lad? Welcome aboard. Ah, indeed. This episode, we have truly built up quite the little tourist destination with our fine hotel, recreational facilities, and everything else that we've built up thus far being literally the finest that you'd be able to find on the planet. Though, given, I won't lie, it is a bit of a backwater shithole of a planet. Nonetheless, we still take that title with pride. Now look, all these shots of our colonies just kind of running wild, these big time skips and montages and stuff, all this has been to stall until we can finally get this cheese up to a reputable quality. I really wanted to hit legendary quality, but oh my god, it takes forever, so I think Masterwork is gonna have to do. For now, at least. Okay, I'm eager to get the cheese out. I'm gonna wake myself up. I need to assign myself to hauling as well. Hello. We should be getting a bulk goods trader here shortly, as I have requested one. Here we go. I'm excited to see how much this is worth. I might keep some for our guests. Okay, let's take a look. Wait a minute, it says legendary. I thought it said Masterwork on the... It did, doesn't it? Yeah, it says Masterwork, current quality. But we got it out and it's legendary. I left it in there for God knows how long. So it's worth $50 a pop, and we have 25. Obviously, it's not gonna sell for that much, but... Oh, I thought that was the... Oh, that's not a bulk goods trader. That's a solar flare. Damn it! Well, that's okay. It is... we have a lot of it, though. We have a lot. That's going to be really great. We have many more cheese presses that we're going to be emptying out to get this cheese. Whoa. Yo, dude. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Never mind. That's normal. I want to keep some of the normal. I want to keep some legendary, or sell the legendary and keep some of the normal. And, you know, look at all these people. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Oh, yeah, and we're making a shit ton of money. Look at that. Oh, my God. 39 silver. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I don't even know if I need to sell it to a trader. We're doing really well selling it in here. Oh, that's awesome that they already started buying it. Everybody loves cheese. Now, that's the truth of the matter. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is, it's so nice. We're having such a good time, eh? We really are. Oh, more. 35 silver that time. Oh, my God, we're making a fortune off that cheese. Damn. Do we have enough milk? I think we're out of milk. No, we have some. Oh, that's human milk. The other one, the other human milk. We haven't milked anybody in a little while. We should be getting them lactating again soon. Okay, they haven't been taking their medication. Go take your medication. There's the problem. I've been so focused on trying to get that cheese up to a decent quality. That's awesome, though. Absolutely awesome. All right, looks like the solar flare is ending, and I got the notification a second ago. I think our bulk goods trader is in orbit. We do also, by the way, I've got everybody taking their lactation inducers. Alexander Nobbs is going to be next. Alexander's at 93% milk fullness, so that's good, but I do want to trade real quick. I think they'll buy cheese, right? Yes, they will. Holy hell. Look, 198 legendary cheese. Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome. 6,831. We've also been working our asses off this episode on making lactation inducers. Can we sell those? They might not buy them here. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, that's all right then if they won't. But holy, look at... Oh, God. That's insane. I want to buy some Nutrimine. We'll trade our cheese for Nutrimine and we still make a good profit. And the reason I want that Nutrimine is so we can build some of our syringer turrets. Holy shit, that's insane. Finally, we're making the big bucks. Look at this. A syringer turret. This huge bastard's gonna cost 120, so that's why. I like the taser ones too, don't get me wrong, but let's build some of these syringer turrets. I guess I'll put it over here. We'll build a few of these to help us out with knocking people out without having to kill them. We'll just throw them in here and there. I might actually, well, they all cost 100. No, these cost 50, my bad. We'll put them up in these different areas like this, and that'll help us out significantly, I think, with making sure we don't kill people. And we still have a decent bit of cheese left. It might not be legendary quality, but we'll still be making money. That's awesome, though. I still can't believe it, the legendary quality. It took, I don't even know how long it took. It's taken forever. Oh, we have a bulk goods trader caravan, too. You just missed all the legendary cheese, friend. But yeah, that, it took forever. It was well worth it, though. It really was. And we've accomplished so much this episode. I really think the legendary cheese might have been our biggest accomplishment. It's pretty wild. And with that accomplishment finally out of the way, my friends, I must bid you farewell. At least for the time being, that is, until next episode. Keep in mind, though, like I mentioned, if you want to be a rat specialist here on Patreon or a support rat tier, you can, of course, have your names added to the large list of names for this series, as well as any of the other upcoming patron series that I plan on doing, where I'll be using your names to go about, I don't know, committing war crimes, milking you, all kinds of fun stuff. But I'll see you later. Goodbye. Howdy, partner. The name's Thornton. Nice to meet you. Say, you wouldn't be looking to get milked, would you? What's that? No, you must be hearing things. I'd like to welcome you to Lactasia Farms. Not only a farmstead where we do a lot of milking and a lot of dairy producing, but we also have one of the finest hotels this side of the planet. Admittedly, this planet is a little bit of a backwater shithole, but I digress. In case for some reason you're not familiar, this ain't just any normal ordinary farm. This is a farm where we milk people, and they love it, and we love it, and we make a lot of money doing it. But you see, not all of our milkable folks are quite as cooperative as others. And today, my friends, we are going to be filling up our prison cells with some of these uncooperative folks, and we are going to be milking the absolute hell out of them for plenty of moolah. You see, the prisoners give us milk, and then we take that milk, put it into a cheese press, and wait for it to ferment and ripen into a beautiful yellow delicacy with a little bit of hair in it. We also have many people who maybe are a little bit kinky, I guess you would say, and are willing to pay us to stay here and to get milked by us. It's a bit of a freaky thing, but it's what's happening, and we're making a lot of money from it, so hell yeah. Such as our new tenant here, who is going to be known as James Rose 04. Welcome to the farm. Speaking of farms, we've recently detected a tox pirate farming site not too far away from Lactasia Farms, the perfect place to go to capture some more milkers. We'll be taking a couple of our taser turrets along with us to ensure that we don't end up murdering these folks before we start getting a few drops of leche from them, eh? We definitely don't want to damage the teats before we get a hold of them. Looks like I think we have 4 of these people here who are farming. They appear to be some of the tox pirates, all of which have either clubs or knives. Thankfully, of course, we, as we well know, are well prepared for this since we have our taser turrets. I also packed a battery to handle this little situation here. I think maybe we'll come up this way, I guess. I'm just trying to think of the best place to put our stuff. Oh, we're already shooting. See, that's what I didn't want to happen yet. Let's drop our taser turrets and our battery. Oh, I think our other taser turret's on the butter. Yeah, oopsie daisy. I forgot about one of them. Okay, let's go ahead and start putting our turrets down. Hopefully they don't attack us until we've got these down. I got a little preemptive strike in there. Let's see. Yeah, we'll put these down first. What a terrible placement. Alexander Knobs, if you could not shoot at them right now, that would be good. I want to swap everyone over to their non-lethal weapons too, so that we're not killing them right away. I don't want to kill any of them if I could help it. They should all be good for milking, I'm sure. Let's get our second taser turret. Butter can stay down here. That way, Butter is out of harm's way, of course. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought they were coming for us. They got really close there. All right, Sarek, I want you to shoot at them with the bolt-action rifle. They got into a fight with each other. Here they come, though. They are now coming to attack us. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is what we want. Let's take cover behind our turrets and our battery. They're going to be coming around this way, which, to be honest, would probably be fine, but let's make sure we're not in direct line of sight here. Our taser turret will still lock on as soon as it has the opportunity. There we go. Oh, one down. One down. 2 down. Oh, actually, he got back up. Hey, whoa, 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 where you going? They're fleeing. Hold on now. Sit down. Let me quickly... Oh, Oh, shoot. I want to grab them really quickly if I can. We'll have to pick them up, I guess. Let's let Alexander Nobbs carry Gimling? Yeah. Okay, tase him, tase him, tase him. Alexander Nobbs, you can pick up this other person, Mort. And at the very least, we'll end up getting a few of them. Necro is getting away, but that's okay. Ouch. Alright, I'm gonna pick you up. We've got 2 of you at the moment. We did unfortunately kill this person, but it looks like we'll be taking 2 of them prisoner with us. See, as long as we, obviously, I'm sure you know, but as long as we pick them up quick enough, even though they can stand now, they are technically going to be stuck there as we're holding their arms behind their back, and they're just stuck with us. So, let's claim these areas up here, and let's all start heading this way, and I'll quickly throw together some makeshift prison cells inside of here, and that way we technically capture them, right? What have you been growing? Peaches? Well, we'll take your peaches back home with us and eat them, if nothing else. Okay, so we want to let you go. I guess I shouldn't have done that so soon. Can we? I can't capture them, though. We're gonna have to hit them, I think. Oh, well, I can tase, though. Yeah, I can tase. Cool. There we go. Now capture. The taser turrets are a lot better because they don't actually end up... There's like, they instantly knock them down, essentially, because the turret has a lot more power than our little taser gun, of course. Let's try not to kill her. Come on. There it is. Come on. Don't kill her. Don't kill her. Don't kill her. Go down already, Gimling. Good God. How many rubber bullets can she take? She's a tough one. Oh, son of a bitch. So now, with all that effort, we only have 1 prisoner who will be milked. Well, you know what? At least it's a start, I guess. Well, it was time for us and our new milking fella to return back home. But in the meantime, back home at Lactasia Farms, we had a wild woman wandering around in the meadows. So I did what any sensible milk farmer would do. I shot her a bunch of times with a syringe gun until she finally went to sleep. That's right, Rainford, take yourself a nice little nap. When you wake up, you'll be feeling much, much better. We've even got you a nice cozy bed you can sleep in. Just have you a little sip of this lactation inducer and we'll strap you in nice and tight. Don't want you rolling out of bed or leaving at all. My God, that name sucks ass though. How about instead of Rainford, you get a nice name like Ravian Black? Oh, that is much better. Well, so far so good. We've got 2 prisoners and really only 1 new one. Or so you thought, because we've arrived with Mort, who is also gonna get milked. But again, I hate that name, Mort, so we're going to call you Zosu07. Hot dog. Now we're talking, but I do think that if we're going to be stuffing our prisons with milkable prisoners, we should probably fix it up a bit, eh? So not only are we going to be fixing the road outside, making it easier to get to the prison, of course, and to move between the cells, but we're also going to be replacing all of the normal beds with restraining tables, because, let's be realistic, we're just going to be tying them all down and milking them, right? Yeah, I thought so too. But while we're at it with the road building, we've got a bunch of limestone that we've been cutting for several months in our storage warehouse, so I guess we might as well start building some proper roads around the entire farm. This is going to be great for a plethora of reasons, of course, including the fact that with more stone pathing, there's going to be less vegetation getting in the way as we're moving all around the farm, to our hotel, to the prison, to anywhere realistically, meaning we are going to be moving product much faster to the hotel lobby, as well as our storage rooms, meaning that we're also going to be making money much faster as well. This also has the added benefit of increasing the beauty of the surrounding outside parts of the farm for our customers and visitors alike, meaning they'll be in a better mood and better spirits, enhancing their stay even further. Oh, would you look at that? Some potential milkers have arrived. It looks like Lucia is Zosu07's wife? Well, we'll actually try to keep you alive there, partner. Lucia? Wait, who's Lucia? Well, that wasn't Lucia. Oh, you! Oh, I was searching, I didn't see her down here. Okay, are they preparing, by the way, for a minute? Oh, yeah, okay, so they're gonna prepare for a while before they actually attack. That's a good time for us to hit them with a mortar, I guess. We'll go ahead and start working on that. I'm also gonna start moving some of our syringer turrets over this way, too, because I I want to make sure that they have good access to hit the enemies that are coming up this way. And I'm also going to throw in some taser turrets as well. I'll throw one like right there. I just want to move all this over so we have the best chance possible of knocking them out and not killing them. The syringer turrets I think are going to be best for that because they're actually going to knock them out. Sarek, I think you have a good shooting skill. No? Yes, 13. Get on that mortar, partner, and let's start blasting them. I want to try to injure as many of them as possible before they actually make it here. I'm going to extract the normal shell and we'll actually use an incinerary shell because if nothing else, we might be able to burn them. Let's set our force target about... we might not because they're kind of around the stone instead of the grass, but we'll try it anyways. And the city will be safe, our farming city here. Here we go. Let's hit them with all we got, baby. Here we go. I got a mortar and incinerary shell coming this way. Oh, that would have been great if it hit like a little bit to the left. Damn it. That's all right. We'll try again. Hit them again, boys. Hit them again. Go, Sarah. Go. Go, go. Fire in the hole. Okay. Ooh, all right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Not bad. Not bad. We'll hit them with one more shell, I bet, before they actually start coming this way. Again, I don't want to kill them, but I also don't want to get killed. And most of our people can't fight because they're just guests. So we want to make sure that we can at least injure them pretty badly if possible, or at least kill some of them. Like that. That was perfect. This person will maybe die. Oh, you have some Lactasia as well. That's very nice. Thank you for bringing that to us. What a nice drug. Perhaps I wonder if these dirty bastards are setting up their own human milking farms. That could be the case if they have some Lactasia on them. Would be one of the only reasons I think that they would have it, in case, or maybe they just like getting milked. I don't know. Damn, we have fired off 4 shells and they still haven't attacked us yet. And I'm not going to say we're getting like really accurate hits in, but it's more than I expected. I hope that doesn't... Oh, it's already starting to burn. We have plenty. I'm not worried about it. We also have our own lactation drug, so it's whatever. No big deal. I'm going to let them start using high explosive shells again, too. Good God. Are they ever going to attack us? Now they're attacking. Well, can't say I blame you after that many shots and you've been torched, completely torched. Okay, we need to prep our defenses and get everyone down here. Mikado-chan is going to be taking all of our tenants into the dining room to make sure that they're safe and sound and don't get murdered by any Tarks pirates, while the rest of us come down here with our barrages of non-lethal pistols and syringes. Holy! Good night. Good night. Oh. Holy shit. This is amazing. Oh my God. We still need to be careful because they're getting a little close. Let's pull back just a tad. I don't want any of our people getting killed. But, oh yeah, this is great. This is great. Oh, shoot. All right, let's start grabbing them up. Grab them up. We're going to start milking them right away. Goodbye. Goodbye, you freaks. I wonder, can we catch any of them? Kimmy. We might be able to catch Kimmy. She looks a little bit slower. Gotta be careful. She's got a machine pistol, but everyone else, we're going to start capturing them. Hey, whoa, Kimmy. Let's not act that way. We just want to milk you, huh? We just want to milk you. Did we get Lucia? I wasn't paying attention. She might be dead. All right, let's get Kimmy and I'll check. Come on, Kimmy. Oh, come now. Come on. Let's... I feel like we're going to kill her with all these... Oh, we didn't. With all these rubber bullets. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we lost that Lactasia. That's okay, but it looks like I think we have 4 new prisoners who we're going to start milking. Hell yes. Hell yes. I don't see... Yeah, I don't see... What's her name? Lucia. Did she get away? She might have. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really care if we killed her, but... Yeah, I think she got away, because everybody else is either dead or they're getting taken to the prison to get milked. Well, great. I'm glad. Holy cow. Pun intended, matter of fact. Pun intended. We need more of these syringe sentries. These are amazing. They're like the best. I'm gonna start putting all these back in their place though, and yeah, I might start buying up some more Nutramine. That way we can pretty easily knock out all of our enemies with the syringer ones. They're just, they're OP in terms of non-lethal capabilities. Let's make sure that we're tending to everyone, and tending to ourselves. I think quite a few of us are a little bit injured at the moment. But we'll do that, and I'm also going to start giving them their lactation drugs. Ah, Requiem, finally you have some company, my friend. And finally, with all these new milkers, maybe we'll be able to give your teats a little bit of a rest, more often than before, at the very least. Real quick though, we're gonna start giving these milkers some proper names, with Templar Knight 672 and Bodacious Buns. Then we have Happy Acrid, who actually might be named Kimmy in some of the upcoming shots, because I realized a little bit too late I forgot to name her. Apologies. Last but not least though, we also have Hydra Lightning. I don't think I need to explain, but I'll do it anyways, that having all these prisoners and milking all these prisoners is a massive increase in just how much milk we're going to be getting. And ultimately, how much of that milk we can turn into cheese and then sell to our customers, making us a fine, pretty little penny. Of course though, we want many more milkers, which is going to involve probably a little bit of violence, and violence means we could get hurt. So we're also going to finally start researching flak armor to better protect ourselves. Now I realize this research doesn't directly relate to milk and cheese and stuff like that exactly as, you know, most of our other research, but it is long overdue to say the least. As we were working on the research, we ended up having a slave ship in orbit. Let us speak with this slave ship. I don't know if I want to buy milkers, but we're gonna buy some people that we can milk, I think, but this is a child. We've got 2 adults. We could definitely take them. If they have terrible skills, we'll milk them. Let's take a look, actually. Really good at plants. We could keep you around. And how about you? Great at cooking and animals. You know what? I might keep them. Well, they're both gonna be slaves. We'll have to recruit them, but I wouldn't mind having them both, like as a chef and then as a plants person. What about this child here? Good at anything, little fella? We could have you be security, little lady. I don't think so. I always feel bad not buying children in RimWorld as slaves to keep them as non-slaves because it's a little kid. I actually genuinely feel so bad when I don't do that. I'll sell them some of the other stuff we've got here. I'm trying to avoid not selling, selling stuff that's not milk related. I might sell some lactation inducers. We've got 53 at the moment. I think we have more than that. They might not be in range. I'll sell 25 just because I want to make a little bit more money off of our milking business. Now the Lact Max, this is going to permanently induce lactation on people. It's very expensive, but this would also mean we have to constantly give it to them, unlike our lactation inducers, which basically do the same thing. But they don't get addicted. So I'm not going to bother with that. We'll go ahead and buy the 2 people here. Hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Now, before you go and do anything like... I see an issue already. Ooh. Unwaveringly loyal. Oh, unwaveringly loyal. Oh, that's not good. I could just keep them as slaves and let them work here, but the fact that they're unwaveringly loyal really upsets me, so I'm actually going to capture them. I should just keep them as slaves, but I'm not going to. I'm really not. Hello, hello. Welcome to the milking pen. Boys, I think you're both boys. Yeah, I mean, I should keep them as slaves so they can cook and stuff. We really need some people to work here for us because we need more people who can fight. I might start letting some of the guests take up arms, to be honest with you. That might be what we do after we get some flak armor to ensure that they don't die, because if any of our guests die, that's just an absolute bitch. And I don't want that to happen. So we'll capture these 2 slaves though, and we will actually force them to start lactating, and we'll start milking them. And we're actually getting pretty close to having our prison completely full, which is awesome. Of course though, they're gonna need some proper milk farm names, so we are going to be naming them Hail Yes and Crowd Slayer 07. Speaking of our prisoners, by the way, many of them are ready to get milked for the very first time since being imprisoned. Nice succulent nectar. Having so many people who aren't exactly cooperative with getting milk does make me a little anxious though, so I think we need to increase our security, and I'm going to be enclosing our prisons here and adding in quite a few taser turrets as well as some steel bar doors to prevent them from escaping. I know they're all strapped down to their beds, but you never can be too safe. And having large turrets that can inflict thousands of volts of electricity onto any escaping prisoner at a moment's notice does make me feel much safer. And our guest as well. Speaking on our guest, I also want to improve their experience here at our hotel while they're coming to dine on some of our fine cheeses and human milk. And so we are going to be extending the dining room and building a dedicated room right next to it for our kitchen. This will obviously give us a much higher capacity for our dining experience, but this also gives us an area that we can put sterile tile in without having all of our guests having to watch us cook. It takes some pressure off of the cooks and makes things a lot cleaner. It's a whole thing. I'm much happier with how this is than how we previously had it. I've also decided to stock a refrigerated vending machine full of some of our lower quality cheese in the dining room itself. That way it's much more convenient for our guests. But this improvement to the kitchen wasn't just for our customers, as we are going to be cooking some lavish vegetarian meals here with all our crops that we've been growing for our staff as well, keeping their moods higher and morale soaring through the roof. Late one evening, we ended up having another wild person wandering through the area by the name of Raptor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Let's milk Raptor for all he's worth. And that's what I was thinking too. But Raptor has a pretty good shooting and melee skill, and so thus I've decided to tame him instead. He'll make for the perfect armored milk marauder to protect the place and act as a bouncer in our absence while we're out on trade missions, giving people our cheese for exuberant amount of money, or perhaps even collecting more folks who can be milked. Though naturally a name change is in order, welcome aboard, Livid Canadian. Speaking of armored milk marauders, we have also finally finished the research into flak armor. Sweet Jesus, I can't tell you how tickled I am to finally have this one done. We wasted no time having Alexander Nobbs immediately begin whipping up many a vest for all of our marauders. We'd also recently done a little bit of trading in which I purchased quite a few components that we would need to go about manufacturing some more syringe guns. Basically dart guns to knock out many of the folks that we want to milk, as we well know. I ended up making 4 of these in total. Don't get me wrong, as much as I like our non-lethal pistols, the rubber bullets can still end up killing people when we're all blasting them between the eyes, and I want to avoid that at all costs when we can. Now comes the boring part, sitting around and waiting on a raid or some type of farming or something site of our enemies so that we can collect them to be milked. Well, that wasn't near as hard as I thought it'd be. Alright, what are we working with here? Let's see. So they're attacking immediately. That's not too many of them. How many are we looking at? 9. Alright, but they are coming right this way. Now, most of our folks have those vests on, of course, except for our guests. I haven't equipped our guest with weapons as I kind of sort of wanted to, but that's alright. Oh, I didn't give Livid Canadian a weapon yet either. We do have plenty of syringe guns and stuff now, though, that I can drop off, so let's go non-lethal. As non-lethal as humanly possible here in this scenario. Oh man, they're madder than hell. They've got boars coming to attack us. I'm gonna drop my... I'll drop a non-lethal pistol for Livid Canadian to use. Here he comes. There we go. Let's see how this goes. We need to keep an eye out though, because we've got all these animals coming our way. I don't want to get shot by them, preferably. Or not shot by the animals. Well, these animals are going to shoot us, but I meant I don't want to get... I don't want to get killed by the animals. Oh, careful there, E-Man. You almost killed him. Alright, let's focus here on the Itakin. Oh, they're already fleeing. We're good. Let's get behind cover, though. How many of them do we have that... Oh my god, we killed that one and that one. Damn it. We've got this one still alive, and the others are fleeing. Hold on now, hold on. Get your asses out here and capture some of these people. I'll let Yo-Yo Dud capture Bowman. Let's see if we can knock this fella down. I want everybody with a non-lethal pistol, get the hell out of here, or go this way. I don't want them dead, for God's sake, people. Who are we working with? We've got myself, Alexander Nobbs, Garrick, and we've also got Sarek. So let's try to put down. There we go. Thank God. Okay. We're hardly getting any milkers. Those non-lethal pistols, I swear to you. I think they all ran away, didn't they? Did they already get away? Yeah, they did. That's okay. That's all right then. That's all right then. We're gonna get Bowman, and we've got this other person. That almost fills out our prison, to be honest. We just need 4 more prisoners. A bit of a shame. We're very close, but Garrick must have, yeah, food poisoning. You're so slow, Garrick. So slow. All right, we're gonna get these folks in prison, though, and we'll start tending to them as soon as possible. One of our cows is roaming away. We keep getting animals joining us, but I don't care. We also have a lot of muffalos, by the way, which, with this being the last episode, I'm not gonna bother naming them, because we probably really won't be using them for any more caravans either, since, you know, we really don't even have to with all the orbital trades and then people coming to buy our cheese. We really don't even need to take a caravan out. Not much point in it, right? Let's get all of this stuff, I guess, hauled out of the way, but we have 2 brand new prisoners now, finally, which is nice. Let's go ahead and name them while we're at it. Where's the other? Oh, Yo-Yo Dud. You must be food poisoned as well. You're very slow. I'm not sure why we have so much food. Living Canadian. You're the culprit. You and your shitty cooking skill. Get out of here with that shit. Let somebody that knows what they're doing cook, Living Canadian. My God. Oh, we didn't have somebody down here. So we technically need 5 more people to fill out the prison. Let's tend to them. Let's do some names. So, Banish, you are going to be known as... Oh, yeah, we've got... the Blitzed Rat. The Blitzed Rat. Welcome to the Milkin' camp. I don't know what I was going to say. The camp? I don't know. Bowman, you are going to be known as Damon976. Welcome aboard to the Milkin' whatever the hell I was supposed to say a second ago, Damon976. We immediately want to start getting you folks to take some lactation inducers. Let me see. Oh, actually, I keep forgetting. We have to use LactX on the prisoners. We might end up having to trade some more LactX for the, what's it called? The lactation inducers. I've been having to swap them out with trade caravans, or trade ships, I should say, for our prisoners. So I might just do a great big stockpile of that pretty shortly. Now, something I haven't really touched on too much this episode is the fact that we have many a cheese in the cheese press fermenting that is about to get to a good quality. Matter of fact, we have quite a few that are at excellent quality, and that's just over halfway. Now, I could let them sit, get them up to Masterwork, and eventually Legendary, but to be honest with you, I'm a bit impatient, and I think we're still gonna make a lot of money off of it. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, we've also got our 2 last tenants who took up the last 2 rooms of our hotel, and they are now known as Quantum Foam and Ian99. And I have to say, we are making an absolute killing just on the tenancies alone of our fine folks who we're also milking, and thus making even more money. It's pretty insane. Speaking of which, we also had a blind healer approaching the farm. Right, a blind healer. That'll be the day. Look, buddy, I wasn't born yesterday. Miracles don't just fall from the sky, but opportunities sure as hell do. Welcome to the Milk Dungeon. Now, I know your eyes don't work, but I bet your teeth sure as hell do. We're gonna call you Vern Stern. Welcome aboard, my eyeless friend. I must say that the influx of prisoners that are now within our milk dungeon is giving us a lot of milk. I mean, obviously, right? And that is what we wanted and expected, but I still can't get over the fact of just how fast we're producing it now. And just how fast we're selling it all off. We've got a really good flow going on here, pun intended. After about a week or so's time, we also had a group of drifters who were looking for herbal meds, I think, for something. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I think you know exactly what's about to happen, huh? Using tranquilizing darts and rubber bullets and the occasional tasing, we ended up taking down basically the entire group, all except for one lucky little fellow who ended up getting away. Or maybe it was a lady. Again, I don't give a shit, as we have a lot of folks who are about to start getting milked. But among all the faces, one was not like the other. A young little lady who is obviously not going to be sent to the milk dungeon or anything like that stupid, so we are going to be recruiting her. I think she would make for a wonderful addition to our hotel and our farm, as maybe a farmhand. She can tend to the muffalos, and again, we're not going to milk her, just to make that clear. Obviously, though, the beggars needed names, so we have the legend boss, Justin Beckwith, Schizo Muffins, John Bayer, and we also have Josh Redman. Welcome aboard, you five. Now, if you thought we were making milk fast earlier, sweet Lord in heaven, having our prison filled up to the max that it could be, we just had an endless supply. And I genuinely mean that. Constantly, after one prisoner was milked, the next prisoner was milked. It's incredible. Naturally, though, missing beggars and other folks can draw the ire of some unwanted folks, right? Folks who might want to come here, kill us, and try to rescue their friends and family, and we don't want that happening. So, to finish off our farm once and for all, we've been stockpiling some steel that we're going to be using to build a great big chain link fence all around the entirety of Lactasia Farms for the safety of our milkers in the milk dungeon, our customers, and most importantly, ourselves. Now, a fence works to deter these people from trying to come in, but a great big syringer turret that's going to tranquilize them and potentially get them locked in the milk dungeon, as well as also maybe a taser turret to knock them out doing the same thing, is even better. And with that, my friends, Lactasia Farms is finally complete. A completely wind-powered, massive human milking establishment. And, I mean, we've built much more than that, of course, but that's the primary goal, right? We have one of the nicest resorts for people to visit and one of the finest hotels with the finest dining establishment with some very unique cuisine, to say the least. A large farm where we're milking animals at all times. And recently, we've even given new lives and opportunities to children in need. And I couldn't have done it without all of you, patrons or otherwise. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. I love you. This has been utterly fantastic. All right, I'm done.